like Nongshim, who have been around basically forever, a lot of these guys, you take away so many strong picks right from the get-go, like Orianna, Camille, Shen, J4. It's just a lot of power into one composition all piled in, and it works well together on top of it as well. So I do like the idea here for Nongshim starting off in this game number 1. We'll just see what the execution looks like with all of this dive, and if Taeyun can get away from it all, as it looks like we are ready. Let's hop on the rift for game number 1. All right, game number 1 of play-ins.
Hat noch einen kleinen Kampf mit meinem Router?
For you guys who are not here at the start of the broadcast,
Aber
this is a best of 5 that if you lose, you are done. That's just it. You know, you made it here.
Was geht?
You made it this far. You got a spot in play. But if you were not one of the 2 teams yesterday, you do not get a second life. If you win, you have to face Bro tomorrow. If you lose, you are out. So a lot of pressure onto both of these squads. It's not going to be easy, especially with Bro bringing it to 5 yesterday and looking quite strong in their own right.
So.
Interesting, Diablo go on the heal.
Also Nongshim Teamfight, super.
They won that extra kill pressure. Nice double stun there by Kellen. But especially because Taeyun has the cleanse, and Bart is generally an easier target to hit, they might just look for Kellen. With the Ignite as well, the heal is
Mann, mir ist warm.
value. So,
Bin ich so rausgesprintet aus der Dusche. Oh mein Gott.
Now though, playing ranged melee into double ranged, the pressure advantage in favor of BNK FearX here in the bot lane.
Yeah, there was also a bouncing grenade. I noticed it only hit 1 minion. It didn't actually bounce onto the range minions.
Just a grenade then.
Yeah, the bounce. Yeah.
It didn't bounce.
It didn't really bounce. Yeah.
Ohne abtrocknen, quasi. Warmes oder kaltes Wasser, immer warm. Wer kalt duscht, hasst sein Leben.
Felt a little bit sad, I think.
I'm just looking for an angle here, but I don't think we can find much. It's a good ward in the river there.
Too.
Yeah. A missed window here for
Nongshim,
and then Sponge kind of has to recall and head to his topside camp.
Ja, Teamfights die Idee für Nongshim, ja?
Have a little bit of extra time here.
Im Sommer ist es sehr dumm da, warum?
Have the information as well because they spotted Sponge. They'll know exactly where he's going to be right now.
Jo, erst danke für den 30.
Gives Raptor some potential free time. I will say, I feel like for BNK FearX, you really want the Caitlyn and the...
Wenn ich im Sommer kalt dusche, dann schwitze ich 5 Minuten nach dem Duschen wieder, weil sich mein Körper richtig langsam an den Temperaturunterschied gewöhnt. Wenn du warm duschst, schwitzt du schon beim Anziehen, Bruder. Nein, ich schwitze beim Kaltduschen. No cap. Bei mir ist dieses an die Temperatur gewöhnen so viel schlimmer.
That can look to trade
Apache.
their lives with the carries on BNK FearX, and if you lose clear a Taeyun, it's going to feel pretty bad in fights. And definitely want them to be strong. Now Diablo taking a
Was Hölle macht Diablo?
Yeah,
set up by Taeyun.
He's like trying to step up to the wave before Lehens is even there, and even with Lehens, I mean, Kellen is playing this Bard lane so well. Like, this guy has been just performing better and better the more we see him, and it's making Diallo's life so difficult and Lehens' life as well when he was there.
Und MT lang für die 225 Stück
Diallo's
Plätze.
gonna be okay to farm under turret, but taking a trade like that is never going to feel good. He did go back and buy a call.
He also burnt heal just to try and stay in lane for longer. Lehens throws down a ward in that tri-brush, which is honestly important because Diablo is at the sort of health range where dive was a potential prospect, but BNK FearX don't look for it, they don't try and set up for it. Raptor's happy to reset, pick up a pickaxe and return to the top side of the map. He did get both Scuttle Crabs as well, thanks to Sponge spending a bit more time in the bot lane.
Yeah, so far things looking pretty good for BNK FearX. Even in the mid lane, you know, the Galio response to the Orianna this early on is just going to be able to match and even get a push in, especially with Sponge not really being in position. Vikla also even canceling the back of Scout, so
very annoying, the Scout there.
Ich Luca und hallo Ventose.
Struggling right now, struggling in terms of pressure.
Toll hat gerade gesagt, dass er dich in die Garage gesperrt hat als Rache. Bist du heil wieder rausgekommen? Ja, ich hab die Garage, das Garagentor zerboxt. Darf er schön sein, der Wichser. Darf er schön sein. on that note.
Ein Flex-Pick mit Lehens. Wäre alles gut gegangen, hätten sie den Champion Toplane geflex-pickt oder Support und hätten ein gutes Matchup bekommen. Haben sie nicht geschafft. Also bin mir sehr sicher, dass bei dem Pick hier, bei dem ganzen Gedöns da nicht wirklich darum ging, Botside eine Kammer zu kriegen. Oder Toplane als Blind-Pick, sondern halt wirklich als Idee des möglichen Flexes. Sperrst auch einmal die Garage ab, gibt am nächsten Mal kein Wasser im Kofferraum. Ey, danke dir auf Sie, tut mir leid, ja, mein Bad, sorry. Right. 80 Monate ist doch komplett crazy, Bro, und vielen Dank für den 80.
Clearing, and he
Hello,
goes
partner.
second
Hello, Didi.
here. He goes immediately onto the Drake here. And you see that Sponge knows that this is a possibility, but I do wonder if they're really able to challenge this. I mean, mid is winning for BNK FairX, bot is winning for BNK FairX.
Also, Raptor has the Smite upgrade and Sponge doesn't. So
Yeah.
there's literally zero chance of stealing that away. It would,
Hast du Master-Cup-Announcement gesehen? Ja, habe ich.
so
Aber es ist Huya only.
backs off, and this
Mal schauen, was meine Freunde aus China da sagen.
ramifications from Sponge going for that.
Aber das ist auch, guck mal, das ist ein Burnout. Ich schwöre, das wird ein Burnout-Turnier, 100%. Wir bekommen Biggest Loser-Turnier, das ist ein Burnout-Turnier, 100%, by the way.
Sponge is level 5. So now you just can't really engage with him at all.
Was denkst du, wer gewinnt? Das the Best of 5 ist eine gute Frage, 50-50.
So much power. So
50-50, meiner Meinung nach das Matchup, dieses Game hier. Ich mag den Nongshim Draft in Teamfights. Mal sehen, ob sie da hinkommen.
to his own jungle, unable really to make anything happen.
Was ist damit?
Push mid to
Es gibt quasi ein Turnier für
even
Best of the Rest quasi. Moment, ich kann es kurz zeigen.
everywhere, and yet they're also checking all the boxes very well. Just in case, you know, we haven't really had much straight up action, not a lot of skirmishing in this game, but it has been BNK FairX chipping away at the woodwork here of Nongshim Red Force early. And I mean, eventually they should be okay, but this is rough.
The thing is, as long as Vikla keeps maintaining this pressure
Ja.
he has in the mid lane, and there's all
Battle of the Bastards, und zwar durchgehend. LCK 567, LPF 567, LC 45, LCS 45,
this is what I was kind of talking
Brasilien 4 und SCP 4.
about, you can look for, but generally
3. bis 17. Oktober, also bis zum World-Start.
that's not really been something to be able to find.
Komplette Shitshow.
Look at how respectful
Das ist nicht einfach LCK Nummer 5. I mean, well, LCK Nummer 5 ist wahrscheinlich KT.
cleanse, flash available, a bard there, and tons of vision.
LPL Nummer 5 ist, wer weiß. Mal sehen.
And just letting it push into them. It was in a little bit of an even state, but
Mal schauen. I mean, ist also Korea und, also, wenn es KT wird, sind die auf jeden Fall favored, ja.
That would bypass these wars, but it'd be very long.
LPL Nummer 5 wird dann so eine Drecksorga wie WWE. Ja, genau, da beamen dich das rein. Das wird dann irgendwie sowas.
He's no ward. Okay, I thought Vikla was going to place a ward that would actually cover that, but he doesn't. He just moves down towards the boss side. But either
What
way,
the fuck? Wie ist mein Java 20 Testdown?
spot lane
Was hat SpongeBob gemacht?
offer some relief for Diablo and the Hens.
Was hat SpongeBob getan?
A rough position to be in.
yeah. First they were playing respectful, now they've got the wave in an awesome spot. Diablo has to back.
Wie ist sein 28 Testdown?
He's not miles behind.
Ai, ai, ai.
He's actually ahead in terms of gold. So that call paying off so far. You see the TP in from Clear, and it is going to be Sponge that only gets the one grub for now. He's sticking around. Lehens is here, so maybe trying to make a play for it here is Nongshim.
I think because you picked up that first one, your smite's coming up soon. Oh, they're going for the fight potentially.
Maybe they are going
Aha.
for even as there is
Unsere Teamfights also
trying to peel for this one. Sponge
sehen noch nicht so gut aus tatsächlich.
Raptor had to get out of there. They do get the grub, but this skirmish
Oder?
is extending. Kingen thinking about going back in. Nice flash away from
Unsere Teamfights.
there from Sponge. A very close one as Vikla goes in for the play.
Unsere Teamfights, okay.
Go a little bit too far, trying to shore it up for the team. As you see Nongshim going to win in the 2-for-1, and here comes Kingen looking for the double.
Stark.
On top lane.
2 Kill auf Kingen.
Kingen getting so much value on this pick, and all the early
Halt's Maul.
kind of just disappear on the back of a huge engagement.
Hier, Hoheputzige gehen dort. Ja, ich meine, die sind auf jeden Fall favored, ja.
Camille. And we see the fight starting off. They focus so much down on
Noch mehr League of Legends, Junge, das ist so
unable
krank.
to finish him off.
Also wirklich, also du hast
Leave the
auch noch die letzten 2 Wochen quasi, wo es noch, in denen es noch Zeit gab, sind jetzt auch noch voll. Das ist so insane.
Not even to kill the Lee Sin, but they just still have
Dachte, was hätte ich, bin nämlich so dicht dort eine Fiesta.
still the Cataclysm
Good one, good one, good one.
here.
Mein Mauspad ist aus dem Trocken. Das muss ich nach dem Game, ich bin wirklich...
Save to step up
Ich habe mich wieder überschätzt beim Sport.
TC to come in.
Aber das Boot gebaut, verdammt gute Frage.
Even in this last moment,
Ich habe mich beim Sport verschätzt, wieder 5 Minuten zu spät los, weil ich noch Hackfleisch gekauft habe.
to who can dive
Also 5 Minuten zu spät raus aus dem Gym.
And there isn't when you have a.
Wieder nichts hinbekommen heute Morgen. Ich Penner.
If they get ahead, it's very difficult to get away from, because on top of that all, they have a Jhin. We didn't even really get Jhin.
Ja, ich hab Hunger.
Too much action in that one.
Es ist wieder alles heute.
It was just farming bot or something. And if you've got that for more pick, it's going to be very difficult.
Heute Abend geht's zum Fußball. Welches deutsche Team spielt? Freiburg spielt heute, oder?
They are 1,000 gold behind.
Yep.
And they only got
Euroleague.
one grub as well after all of that.
Tano und dann für den 17. Aber Euroleague Quali. Warte, ist es Euroleague oder Euroleague Quali?
Objective. And, you know,
Heute Abend um 18 Uhr ist der CL-Draw. Den schauen wir. Wow, ich hab Hunger. Oh mein Gott, mein Magen hat gerade so angefangen zu knurren. Oh mein Gott. Conference League Quali. Was hast du für morgen getippt? 3-1 Bayern.
Despite being a little bit down in farm, up in goal in that 1v1 matchup. So everything kind of turning in favor of Nongshim there. And it feels bad, especially because Raptor. Oh.
Alright, they're going to have a Shen coming in here. And no curtains just yet, but Diablo just trying to get a little bit closer. They're trying to lock down Raptor,
Wow.
who is going to dash.
Die Teamfights, meine Freunde.
They can't get away from them as the
Oh, toter Stadtmist.
exit does come in from.
Conference League gegen Motherwell, Gesundheit.
He will survive. But man, it is difficult right now against this Nongshim comp.
Yeah, ended up just hitting a limit in terms of the CC available to keep Vikla in place. But still managing to pick up another kill on the Raptor. Raptor had such a good start. Was on track to get a really early first time completion and be able to leverage that strength. Sponge now ahead in the matchup, despite being down down 4 camps. He's ahead in the matchup, so a great recovery from him.
He's not going to go for that one. Vikla has been doing low health farming here in mid.
Hotland.
Yeah, really making me
Na
worry
dann.
about him.
Getting to the point where Scout can really
Ich habe gestern noch erste Halbzeit Real geschaut.
we see here
Und da war ich
kind of looking for the
um 22:30 Uhr war ich im Bett. Das ist so krank.
Shen just ults in,
Ich habe einen 100er Sleep Score bekommen heute.
is always able to assist from
Das war das letzte Mal nach der erste Schlaf, nachdem MSI fertig war.
Vikla honestly doing a good job there just to wait and make sure he can get away.
Insanity, 22:30 im Nest gewesen.
Seeing another fight immediately come through.
Yeah, they're in a lot of trouble. Kellen, I mean, he is going to get in the magical journey, but Lehens goes for
Wie
the.
soll BFX doch gewinnen? Ja, ist sehr schwer. Also wie gesagt, Teamfights
Marvin, he looks low,
sollten Nongshim favored sein.
but he's got so much backup.
Also schwierig.
Lehens is going very
Außer du infeedest so, aber
do get the kill on a Raptor, but now we
sollte trotzdem wenig sein.
Nongshim following up a very messy fight so far.
Ja. Oh mein Gott, SpongeBob.
Back down from any of it.
Wir haben Eclipse außerdem auf Java. Ja. Stark.
For him to go. Just trying to play Caitlyn and he's not having fun.
These skirmishes, even in moments where we see BNK, Fearax,
Beim BD ist es Birthday, dann alles Gute, Zero. Shit. Alles Liebe, Zero. Ach, Sander ist geil. Das war W, das so groß war. Oh ja, kick den ich heute nochmal Propaganda. Wir waren das heute doch voll. Aber wir sind schon fast voll, actually. Gestern sind wieder echt viele gejoint. Noch 24 Stück. Schickst du noch eine Nachricht in die Gruppe raus, Fabi, weil ich sehe, dass einige noch nicht ihre Tipps gemacht haben. Da muss ich die leider beleidigen. Gibt's einen Link? Ne, klar. Hier. Ich empfehle euch, die App runterzuladen. Ist unbezahlte Werbung, I guess, muss man das sagen? Weiß ich gar nicht, ob man das sagen muss, aber es ist unbezahlte Werbung. Aber bei der App bekommt ihr 24 Stunden vor Tippschluss. Vor Tippschluss gibt es dann nochmal eine Notification aufs Handy.
You just get to press all your buttons with no recourse, basically. Why? What happened?
Diablo picked up a different lethality first item to what we've typically seen.
It's
We have
not,
the
not a
hubris
Jonas.
coming in.
Hubris? In
Yeah.
2026 League of Legends?
I mean, I feel like if you play a lot of solo
On Jhin?
queue, if you play a lot of ARAM AM, you'll have seen this item a ton.
Of course.
But not really an item we see that much in pro because it's conditional on getting kills to stack it up. And even just getting a kill for it to be active.
Stuttgart Predicted Lineup finde ich sehr nice.
They're going to be getting some
Können die zwei machen? I mean,
It ties
ich glaube, das ist eher eine Frage, wie gut ist Bayern, weißt du?
Clear's in a lot of trouble, a lot of flash.
Ich glaube, ich bin sehr happy mit der Offensive. Die Frage ist halt nur, wie gut ist Bayern?
Sponge will eventually go down. We also had a kill on the Lehens up here on the top lane. That is a nice dodge on the shockwave from Raptor.
Ich hab 3-1.
Really close to the Orianna. Not having a very
Oh, wow. I mean, das ist halt nasty Zone Work, weil was willst du machen?
Here. As now Vikla gonna try to TP.
Oh! Überrannt. Stark. Stark vom Scout. Fand ich, was gar nicht gelaufen, weil zwei meiner Feuermelder losgegangen sind. Ich weiß nicht wieso. Muss auf Hausmeister warten, damit die mir sagen, ob die Melder noch kaputt sind. Warte, Batterie leer. Warte, okay, melden die sich auch, wenn Batterie leer ist, oder kann es nicht deswegen sein? Hier sind natürlich wirklich überall Feuermelder. Unironically. Ich weiß nicht. Ich glaube, die haben sich noch nie gemeldet. Doch, die haben sich einmal gemeldet. Und da war einmal, also bei denen war die Batterie leer zumindest. Aber mal schauen, was dein Hausmeister dazu sagt. Better safe than sorry.
Oh wait, I actually need help here. The deadly flourish comes through, doesn't see it coming, and then Scout's able to clean it up. And then once more, Kingen just flies in just in time to get the ult as well.
Yeah.
Batterie leer ist aber eher ein langsames Regeln. Okay, ich weiß tatsächlich nicht, wie sich ein Feuermelder oder der Feuermelder anhört, wenn wirklich, wenn er tatsächlich wegen Feuer losgeht. Was machen wir? Willst du auch nicht? Okay. Diablo macht so viel Damage tatsächlich. Nur gegen Brand hat auch Gas, Kohlenmonoxid. Wir müssen sofort mit den, ne? Du merkst es selbst. Man hat zwei gleichzeitig, und zwar die am weitesten voneinander entfernt sind. Das ist, okay, checke. Ja. Checke. Na dann, hoffentlich nichts Ernstes.
This is just too many members really for Kingen to deal with, and even though we get the Shenel coming in, this doesn't really get Kingen to safety to kick back under the tower, take it out, and I believe it was Quay who picked up that gold. He was actually up in gold in the matchup. No, it was actually the Caitlyn who got it. So, and then here
stirbt der Upgrade Tabis, ne? Nicht vergessen, der Upgrade Tabis meine ich.
I think just hold the flash. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Upgrade habe ich nicht. Der ist da gestorben, finde ich so krass. Aber jetzt war Black Cleaver fertig? Ne, war noch nicht fertig.
I mean, Jin scales so well with AD since you have so many multipliers.
Yeah.
Like, this is the sort of item that is so feast or famine. You need to get the value from stacking it up. You need to be able to, ideally, because it lasts 90 seconds.
Einmal vorbeibringen.
It's just a series of kill after kill after kill, so you keep it up constantly and it keeps stacking up.
Das ist ziemlich gut.
How LCK matches go. That is definitely how this match is.
Müssen wir bisher nur den Spieltag und die Bonusfragen? Genau. Du kannst jeden Spieltag einzeln machen. Die Bonustipps müssen halt vor Start der Liga fertig sein. Genau. Amen. Die haben so geilen Commit. Also, du wirst halt wirklich von 3 Screens away gefühlt hart engaged. Das ist schon sehr, sehr nice. Okay, nach diesem Game muss ich hier kurz die ganzen leeren Flaschen, ja, maximal 2 leere Flaschen natürlich hier, die muss ich wegbringen. Und ich muss mein Mauspad wieder anbringen. Und das ist wieder ein Abfuck, weil mein scheiß Schreibtisch so voll ist. Und dann muss ich irgendwann muss ich noch meinen Schreibtisch leer machen. Das ist also wirklich Psychoterrorismus. Wir sind wirklich unter uns. Es sind 3 und 2 leere Red Bulls. Es sind 3 Speziflaschen und 2 Red Bull Dosen.
There's nothing really you can say to Taeyun. Unless you want to tell him, like, to stop playing the game and, like, just go sit in the base or something. Like,
yeah.
There's really nothing he can do in terms of counterplay. It is the epitome of, you know, just play safe, 80s.
Ist alles im Rahmen. Also, ich sag, hier gab es schon Tage, das konntest du nicht vermarkten.
Yeah,
no cap.
Now they're looking for Vikla here. And he doesn't have anyone to hop to yet.
He really wants to just ult to teleport out, but I think it's done.
Gestern war also ich war gestern wirklich schlecht gelaunt, ne? Das ist mir so ein Heinz auch gefallen, als ich Stream ausgemacht habe. Wow, ich war gestern schlecht gelaunt. Aber da waren auch wieder eine Menge NPCs gestern in dem Chat. Ich sag, ab 1000 Viewer. Ab 1000 Viewer ist hier, ab 1000 Viewer ist wirklich gefährlich, ne? Was du da teilweise in den Chat bekommst. Das ist crazy. War natürlich auch gutes Ad-Money, don't get me wrong, aber sobald dann die Freaks kommen, gefährlich.
When these two get GAs,
Das hat ein LCK ein LPL. Nein, du, heute Abend, okay, ich habe aber auch beschissen geschlafen gestern. Also gestern hatte ich wirklich beschissen, ich habe gestern, glaube ich, nur 3,5 Stunden geschlafen oder so. Nein, das ist, by the way, auch dieser eine Nuttensohn, der dann gesagt hat, also actually hat er ja gar nicht gewertet mit seiner Aussage, wenn er gesagt hat, so, warum hat die das an? So, actually, ja, da ist überhaupt kein negativer Unterton dabei. Sein Hurensohn. Wirklich. Nächstes Mal so Boka anziehen und dann ist fein. Dann kommen aber auch wieder welche. Warum trägt ihr eigentlich Boka? Eure Bastarde. Man kann Freddy wirklich dankbar sein. Ja, die Frage sind es, also guck mal, das ist jetzt wieder hart zu sagen, sind es Freddy Viewer? Ich glaube nicht. Also das ist ja scheißegal, woher die kommen, das sind halt NPCs, ne? Also hier gibt's ja auch welche. Das ist ja so. Aber, also gestern war schon, ich war aber auch echt schlecht gelaunt. Fairerweise. Ich glaube, normalerweise kann ich das besser tanken. Ich glaube, das sind einfach fucking Morons. Egal, woher sie kommen. Wo lang ansonsten die Dinge, ich weiß es nicht. Es war halt auch niemand online, ne? Also, das war, wie gesagt, wir beschweren uns natürlich nicht übers Geld, aber... It is what it is.
Yeah. Taeun just was able to scrap together.
Janis.
Oh, 27 stacks now for Diablo here. I wonder how much total AD he has. Probably a lot.
We might actually be able to
Direkt Timeout, ja.
see that.
Yep. Gelernt ist gelernt.
No promises. And yeah, I mean, Taeun just got his IE.
Tiefrot, danke für den Zweiten. Dankeschön.
Yeah, I mean, so if Diablo has a lot of stacks on
GND, Diggi.
IE third and then his pen item fourth, rather than going like, you know, the build we've seen where
Kann nicht an die von gestern rankommen? Uff. Schwer. Wirklich schwer.
Crits. Like his crits will just feel like a Caitlyn headshot every single auto.
Ich bin außerdem so enttäuscht von Spandau, ne? Das ist crazy.
Wow.
In this case.
Gegen Kaufland raus, also ich habe 60-40 Spandau gegeben, reingehen in die Schild. Ich bin so enttäuscht von Spandau.
Yeah. You see the biggest goal lead is actually Scout over Vikla. It's definitely the player matchup you highlighted. I'm not sure.
Diese NPCs waren egal gesponnen. Natürlich direkt in Indien eingekauft, bin ich doof.
We do see the shockwave coming in. Raptor also struggling to get away from Nongshim's comp, but at least avoids that shockwave.
Timeout liefert noch Endmoney, ja. Ist zum ersten Mal, dass Kaufland im Meer dabei ist? Nein. Die waren letztes Jahr mit dem Random Jeskla Roster, waren die auch bei im Meer. Play-in Stage auch, oder? Pretty sure.
That's okay. It's not Huni. Huni's kind of the fiery one.
The scary one, yeah. Also, I've been,
Pretty sure.
Baron, I was calling Al, but people
Waren die Games gestern Schlammschlacht?
So I think we should call it, like, because Al is short for...
Weniger irgendwie?
Albert. I think Albert's a good name.
Yeah.
Haben sich schon sehr einseitig angefühlt, alle?
Harry and Hooney. I think Albert's good, yeah. Okay, that's locked in. We've locked that in. Confirmed.
And threw away the key.
Yeah.
It's gone.
No changing it now.
No takebacks.
Albert, Terry, and Hooney. The three Barons. Not the three Stooges.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah. So they are at Terry right now. Raptors trying to fish for any opportunity to contest this one.
You know what the funny thing is about Camille top as well is that we've seen so much Camille support and the support players.
Also Shadowban, ja. Shadowban ist okay.
Kingan's like, bro, I'm a top laner.
Yeah.
I can play. You want me to play Camille? I'll play the champ. It's really easy for me. You don't have to make Lehens play it.
Yeah, it's like Kingan's like, want to see me play 100 games of Camille?
Want to see me do it again?
And again, and again. So
Okay,
they are
that's,
actually.
it's just gone. Oh, Tempered
Wow.
Kingen ist 7-1, also der kann da easy reingehen, wenn er will. Ja, da kommt der Full Engage.
Why did they do that?
Und bye-bye, Taeyun.
The game as they're going for Taeyun.
So viel Zugriff und das Death Stance von Kingen.
To play this game, Illegal Legends.
Rettet ihn sehr. Oh, wait.
Out as
Pause.
United doesn't do a whole lot to help him as now Sponge is 1
Okay.
for 3 in the back line. They
Okay.
just have that much
Jungle Roll.
money at this point as Diablo has not been challenged at all. As he finally gets rid of everybody in the front line, picks up a triple kill, and
Well played.
even gets away with his life. That might just
20 Sekunden. Kein Game.
533 AD on 3 items right now. Didn't go for the IE, went for the Storm Ray.
Das ist ja ein Switch und Shadowbands, keine Ahnung.
But it's
Jungle wieder balanced.
so much damage.
Ja, Jungle ist wieder OP.
Imagine if he had the IE though.
I guess if you have Hubris, maybe
Oder wie?
it's okay.
If you have a million stacks, I think
Yeah.
it helps. Yeah, so they just engage so deep. And look at Taeyun, position at the back of his team. So many people around to protect him, doesn't matter. Lehens flies in with
Wird BFX hier ein Game holen können? Ich gehe stark davon. Also, I don't think so, wirklich. Das Best of 3 zwischen denen war so close. Letzte Woche. Hallo, Quincy.
Players trying, it's not helping. And Diablo just gets to push forward and help finish these targets off.
The heal actually saves him there.
Just unrelenting aggression we're
Yeah.
seeing from this team.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, shows a lot of confidence, but obviously.
Aber, was ich sagen muss, weil ich habe ihn ja auch so oft kritisiert letztes Jahr schon, Scout hat sich richtig, richtig gut gemacht dieses Jahr. Also formtechnisch
Spotted.
ist der so viel besser als noch am Start vom Jahr.
Sponge, by the way.
Und auch letztes Jahr.
They have found him. The kick does come in, and he's dead. That's going to be 24 stacks now on Scout's Magi's.
Yeah. A lot of stacking going on for Nongshim right now. And now they'll just put some pressure on this last tower available outside of the base of BNK FearX. Soul available in a minute too. It's 11,400 gold lead. At least just a best of 5. You know, you have a lot of games to...
Gegen wen haben die nochmal letztes Mal gespielt? Das war dieses Matchup.
Right now,
Dieses Matchup war
did not look close.
das letzte Best of 3, das die beiden gespielt hatten.
Yeah.
Das war das letzte Best of 3 der Regular Season.
7 or 8 minutes or so. BNK FearX actually had a nice little early lead. And that
Weißt du eigentlich, warum der aus den Top 4 bis 5 Teams der LPL zu nimmt?
yeah.
Ich glaube, vielleicht wollte er zurück nach Korea und ich glaube, in China hat er sich
LCK, you lose one.
also der hat bei JG halt richtig gefeedet, ne? Also der hatte ein schreckliches Jahr.
Walking it down. And
Was
again,
bedeutet, das Rice-Ding oben bei den Teams sind die 2 Gruppen, in die im Sommer unterteilt wurden.
you have somebody die.
Die beiden Teams kommen aus der Rice-Gruppe, KT beispielsweise gestern kam aus der Legend Group.
Also, you know, counterpoint, Nongshim could have just gone too far and thrown it a little bit, but they played it really well.
Geht Sponge rein, ja, ne? Full Send? Natürlich. Geiles Teil. Geil.
Bro, Taeyun,
Geil, Kombot.
stay safe, guys. Come on.
Du meinst die Fries-Gruppe, ja. Einfach Namen? Ja, genau, es sind einfach Namen. Es ist quasi in zwei Dinge unterteilt, 2 Gruppen im Sommersplit immer.
And he just made Taeyun disappear!
Yeah, I think Scout also helped out, but
Oh, for sure.
he was the assistant in the match.
Der Sieger von diesem Game dann gegen die Bros, genau, der Sieger von diesem Game morgen um 10 Uhr gegen die Brodies.
15,000 gold lead. Nongshim are just gonna end the game now.
Ich bin morgen aber okay. Ich habe einen Friseurtermin auf 8 Uhr gebucht, um 8 Uhr ist aber LPL, das heißt, ich mache um 8 Uhr Streamer, bin dann um halb 9 da, also Friseur dauert eine halbe Stunde, ich bin um halb 9 da.
And
Ja, und dann machen wir LPL bis um 10 Uhr und dann machen wir Bro gegen Gewinner von hier.
turrets kill him.
Und danach machen wir LPL.
Not very close.
Zweites Spiel, die machen morgen 2 bis 5.
Will have to bounce back in a big way.
Ich glaub.
Might be a quick one.
Die haben es im ADC getauscht, genau.
Strategy of leaving the Oriana open, see if you can match it.
Setzt Friseur von den Steuern ab, ja, oder? Und danach kaufe ich mir direkt ein Balenciaga-T-Shirt, das komplett ugly as fuck ist und versuche es auch abzusetzen. Und dann habe ich 3 Millionen Steuerschulden und dann gehe ich ab nach Malta. Oder Zypern, wo ist er hin? Zypern. Guter Call, danke.
Got completely dominated throughout that, and obviously you're going to be looking to bounce back in game 2, but this was just decisive by Nongshim.
That was the most animated I think I've seen the coaching staff of BNK FearX as well after a game. I mean, that
They were pointing at the last
rough.
play. You're saying, Taeyun, you need to play.
Alle Blausen. Okay, so.
poor Taeyun, man.
Ich muss jetzt Flaschen wegbringen.
Not get to play League
Mauspad ranbringen, Frühstück machen. Wir sehen uns in 10
Streaming
Minuten.
Simulator, but again,
Big
it wasn't his fault. There's nothing he could do. Nongshim Red Force coming out really strong.
Emphasis
Game
on the
number
four.
one.
Bis gleich.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
Und Gizmo, danke für den 17.
And they
Bring
were
dich weg.
seeing red
Oh mein Gott.
as well. They were just-
Kaufland
So one to
Ich sag mal so, wer heute eine Atombombe explodiert in der Nähe von einem
after the break.
Kaufland, der hier in der Nähe liegt, minus 500 Rentner. That's all I'm saying. Ich war einkaufen, es waren nur Rentner. Nur Rentner. Nur Rentner. Nur Rentner. Weil Donnerstag natürlich die neuen Angebote kommen.
콜해라 이번에 프리스니까.
야 우리 날린다. 카메 빨리 와줘.
좋아 여기 좋아 여기 좋아.
공절게 공절게 공절게.
아 리신 봐줘 리신.
캐트 넣었고.
야 이거 끝낼 생각하다 미드라인 살려봐.
제이스 미드 한 명 와줄래 얘들아? 라인 살려야 돼.
가는 중 가는 중.
로플.
끝내자.
나이스.
나이스 나이스. 나빠 나빠.
라인이 살짝 보였다.
간편하게, 편리하게, 앱에서 한 번에 포인트 정리까지. 우리 이야기는 계속될 테니까. 우리 틴틴, 우리은행.
Red Bull gives you wings.
쓱싹 씻고 바르고 깎고 깎고 면도 쉽게 가자. 부드럽게 쓱 매끈하게 싹 면도 쓱싹 해치웠다. 질레트 랩 스팁 클렌징 바 쓱싹 씻고 바르고 깎고 깎고 면도 쉽게 가자. 부드럽게 쓱 매끈하게 싹 면도 쓱싹 해치웠다. 질레트 랩 스팁 클렌징 바
when I was a player. If if I was to like make a misplay, maybe it's my mouse, maybe it's my armrest, something feels wrong. If you were at home, you wouldn't do that.
The Infinite Precision Armrest is part of the larger Circulab on Stage standard initiative, aimed to bring your home or training room settings to the tournament stage.
이제 저뿐만 아니라 다른 선수들도 세팅을 더 원활하게 할 것 같고
가장 편안할 때 더 강력한 플레이가 자연스럽게 나옵니다.
Every sky is a line I'm drawn. Cut by cut, mark by mark, my name forever in the stone.
First blood goes the way of red, and it wasn't even close. This is what a 14,000 gold lead looks like, deleting Taeyun and reminding him, hey, we used to be teammates, not so much anymore. In the battle between the Noodle Boys and the Fearless Foxes for the final time, it goes away, Nongshim 1-0. Welcome back to the LCK play-ins. Dagon here alongside Huni and Wadid. And what a way to start it off here. Nongshim Red Force leaving no doubt here in game number 1.
What a stomp. And it was just that one-sided, man. It was not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it all started from the draft. I think it was kind of one of the disaster that it could possibly happen. For me, if you do the draft for the game 1, you should have some kind of like purposes, right? When you come into the draft. But for me, like BNK Firax had no idea what's going on here, because if you're giving up the Orianna, which is one of the like great mid laner that you can get for the blind pick, then you have to get something out of it. But I don't feel like they got anything like in their team comp. And also giving Nongshim Jarvan on 5th, not having them the advantage on the jungle pick, also doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I would say, like, lack of the pre-plan, right? Like, I think I really liked it, taking away the Camille pick as well, and then you actually have a Shen support and also J4 against Jace, who's, like, really mobile. Like, I think it's only that works, like, the K-Bar has to stomp the Shen line. Otherwise, Shen just get level 6 so freely, and J4 is not getting punished early, and the Camille's just gonna get level 6, and even though he was, like, she was like the 10 CS down, 15 CS down. Like EXP was actually down, but doesn't actually matter because it's gonna be so much really easy for the Camille to play it out the whole game.
Yeah, if BNK wanted to use the Galio into Orianna, then I think they should have just picked the Camille Galio right away and then like pick jungle on 3rd to kind of finish their top side. But yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at BNK Firax's draft, it looks like they picked what they wanted without thinking about what was going to happen on the opposite side. We're going to try to outplay you with the Lee Sin. We're going to blast you through the bottom lane because Taeyun has Caitlyn. And I think a very solid draft came to fruition here as we take a look at some of the plays. We start off over at the Grub fight early on.
So no kills until this point. And I think everyone knows what's going to happen if Camille and Orianna Jarvan is on the Grubs fight here without any getting harassed in lane. So I feel like it was just such an easy setup for Nongshim. They kind of backed out, repositioned themselves with the combination that they have. So they're just gonna go in with the Camille ulti and Orianna ulti on top. Initially, they didn't really finish the target, so I thought they could fight back, but Lee Sin was too low already.
Yeah, I mean, usually you use actually these so many of the single target ultimated and actually not able to finish off. Usually you lose, but actually you have a Shen support into Bard, and the fact that you have a Camille top into Jace, based on the scrimmage, it's from the draft giving you the strength. There's so much different already. The gap was so huge, even though you actually misplayed a little bit. It didn't really actually matter for the fight.
Yeah, very solid play. And then from there, Nongshim never really looked back. It was consistent throughout. They kept the pressure on. And at the very next fight over at the blue buff, it goes the way of Nongshim yet again. And this was the balloon that really took off from here on out in terms of the gold lead we did.
So at this point, on cooldown, you can just run into them. So basically, that's how their comp works. Jarvan goes in, Shen is here to help you out, and also you have Camille Orianna to finish that off. So I feel like it's just like you can't really fight back. You don't have the damage, you don't have the combination. If they could be able to punish the Orianna in lane with Galio, Bard, and Lee Sin, then that could work. But here, it's just impossible.
Yeah, I mean, also it matters for the tempo too. Like Nongshim was so ahead on tempo, like they were ahead like 10 seconds to 15 seconds. That's why they were here to wait for them to actually bait them. They were just basically sitting on the bush. They were fishing enemy team. And also, again, I think the Shen was just so strong in this moment. And you want to skirmish as much as you can. Like that's what the Nongshim want. Like I think BNK, they want lane phase as much as they can. And then try to get the turret down, like control objective and playing with the Caitlyn trap. That didn't happen at all, so it was like really not favored.
Yeah, speaking of the Caitlyn traps, there in that final highlight that we showed, finally Taeyun shows up at the fight, puts down a couple traps, King just dances right around it, assassinates that full health Caitlyn, and that was really the last shot. From there, the gold lead was just massive, and Nongshim Red Force looked like the better team. King looked revitalized here.
Yeah, for sure. I think he did such a great job on that matchup, especially on the top side. I think as Camille, you have to kind of handle in the laning phase, otherwise you get punished too much and then you're not be able to do the skirmishes in the earlier phase. But I think he did such a great job on the top side, so that's why he was only 10 CS down on number. And I think after that he had insane engages, insane team fights. Yeah, it was pretty much it. I feel like you gotta really think about what you want to do in the draft if you're a BNK FearX, because the game one was just completely draft gap.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the draft, I think for next game, I think it's gonna be depends on how they take it, right? Like it's for sure it's a draft gap. Let's just let it go the first game and let's just focus on the second game. I think the pre-plan and I think where do you want to actually focus on the draft? Like that's gonna be the real key, because I feel like the game one, it wasn't really clear.
For me, it's jungle and mid. You gotta really think about strong jungle mid to stop the scout if you're BNK FearX.
For me, take a look at that mop on top of Diablo's head. You see that? He no longer has the curtains with the bangs. He put it up, and now he sees what he's doing, and he's dominating BNK FearX. It's Nongshim 1-0 over BNK as we go to game number 2.
Thank you very much, guys. I think you very much hit the nail on the head on what we were trying to say during that cast.
I think Degon hit the nail on the head. You know, there was some great insights all around, but I think specifically the hair diff from Degon, I think that was the leading factor here.
Where did his little like headband thing is gone now? He just has the part. Maybe it's just to like set up the part. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's unleashed enough of his power and he just needs to dial it back a little bit.
That is a very scary Nex that was drawn there, and this is a very scary raccoon. You can see the fox there. Nex is.
That is pretty much what
terrifying.
happened in game 1.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, that, you know, you could just look at that one fan sign and you're like, oh, okay. Anyway, game 2. Because that tells the entire story. We're going to have first pick here for BNK FearX. Not a big surprise, although I did like what our analysts were talking about in the draft, where it didn't seem like they had a good answer to the Orianna. And if you don't have a good answer for Orianna in game number 1 of Fearless in this current meta, you will not win the game.
Yeah, typically the
So, Moment, ich muss da ganz kurz meinen Schreibtisch vollmüllen, aber das macht wieder dran.
where you just actually ban it. So didn't opt to go for that. Vayne being banned very early on, trying to deny that from Kingen, who had a pretty phenomenal game on the Camille. They ban Syndra. They really want Ryze first pick. That says to me, I imagine that'll just get banned, and yeah, it follows pace there. But this does mean a lot of the picks that were taken out last draft already, Vi, Nocturne, Lucian, all still available. Poppy gets banned. I think they're trying to tee up a Vi ban, and then they can get their hands on Lucian or Nocturne, to be honest. I think that's what they're trying to... You know, you ban the Syndra, so they ban Ryze. You ban the Poppy, so they ban Vi, I think is the theory they're going for here. But they ban the Lucian instead. So denying that away from Taeyun. And I think that does leave Raptor to pick up the Vi here, but they can answer with the Nocturne at least, so... But then again, I feel like a big reason for the Nocturne ban in the last game was didn't want to pair it paired with the Orianna. It's a pick we've sometimes seen banned and high priored and sometimes just kind of let to slip through.
Yeah, I mean, the other big pick with Nocturne is Lulu, of course. So if you want to go for that, you can just pick this.
Okay, wir sind back.
Nocturne on 3. So,
So.
really love the setup that they are going
Perfekt für den
for.
Draft auch.
Could have
Super,
also
super,
tried to
super.
opt for like some kind of like Nocturne.
Alrighty.
Definitely fallen off. And they get a strong bottom duo.
Mauspad wieder sauber.
That does leave
Verschütte ich nochmal Skirr da drauf? Bin ich ein Hund.
Tough lane to play into, especially
Das ist ein
with the
Krampf.
trading patterns, because it's all poke and
Von heute, obwohl sie verloren haben, weil die Bros Nummer 1 in der, wie war der Game 1? Einseitig, weil Teamfight kommt von Nongshim. Nocturne Lulu. Bros sind Platz 1 in der unteren Gruppe, dementsprechend spielen sie doppelten Boden, also sie haben quasi einen doppelten Boden. So, einfach gesagt. Nongshim und BFX waren Platz 2 und 3 in der unteren Gruppe, dementsprechend haben sie keinen doppelten Boden. Verlierer hier ist raus, Gewinner spielt morgen gegen die Bros. Hol dir ein Glaspad. Mir wurde, oder Sean und, also Olli hat sich ein komplett neues quasi Setup geholt. Und er hat, warte.
It just kind of gives you such a strong team fight, such a strong dive there. And honestly, it was what BNK Fearax were playing, I think it was in like 2025 or maybe 2024 where they had that decent run. I think it was, I can't remember
Moment.
but they had a great run on the
Will ich Falsches sagen? Von Artisan. Weil das hat er von Seas halt empfohlen bekommen.
A pick that, you know, Vikla's lent on pretty heavily.
I mean, Vikla loves Cesari, and Clear definitely played a lot of Rumble, especially early on in his career. I think it would be a good idea to at least take away one of those picks if you are Nongshim, or at least look to steal one away.
I mean, it's interesting that we saw the Cassante ban.
Doch.
Maybe,
First Free an sich gefällt mir Nongshim schon mal für Fights mehr. Und es kann sehr gut sein, dass es eine Series ist, die halt einfach durch Fights entschieden wird.
So, and we also know that Ambessa can do pretty good into Rumble. All after get the ban from BNK Fearax. Both Ari and Rumble still available, and BNK Fearax could well look to get their hands on those.
Du machst ja gerade Coach kommst? Yep, gesehen.
See what Nongshim go for here. And it is just going to be that Ambessa, so kind of telegraphing it with the Renekton. And it does make it a little bit more awkward if Clear wants to take the Rumble here.
Nasus?
We've discussed this so much, but I'm not going to talk about it until it gets locked in.
Yeah. You guys did a lot of teeing up yesterday.
Only to be disappointed.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the Ari.
It's just going to be Ari Rumble. I mean, if you do pick Rumble into Ambessa, it's not the most fun time, but I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's a very playable matchup.
Yeah.
The composition works pretty well. So, looks like BNK Fearax kind of returning to that style of composition they played before, and that is really popular right now. And now for Nongshim, into specifically...
Lysandra?
I think Lysandra angle's pretty good. Like, the Annie was banned, and Lysandra fills a similar role in terms of being able to lock down the Ari, having that reliable CC, also hard to dive. Instead, they go
Okay. So, hast du Lion Fan April mitbekommen? Mann, nein. Weil ich um 22:30 pennen war. Wait, wir haben Lock.
You know, last game we had the explosive Nongshim composition. I feel like there's going to be a lot of explosive aspects to them, right? We have like the Nocturne stage, we have the potential for scout reset.
Rumble ist halt sehr OP, ja.
BNK Fearax, you know, you have a strong bot lane. Ari's going to be fine in this matchup. Rumble, even though Ambessa does well when she gets level 6, and her Eclipse is going to be fine. And I think the team comp
ich glaube, ich mag BFX bis mehr.
Straightforward in fights. You know, we saw them struggle last game when Nongshim could just run them down, target the AD carry. This time they have an Ezreal, much harder to pick apart, and they have the tools to just go forward.
Yeah, I feel like the lock in this case very much win more. You know, like they have a lot of ways to go in, a lot of follow-up, and the lock can just throw an ult over the top and potentially get some stuff going. But if you're behind, I don't feel like you have all that much pressure with the combo.
War das letzte Mal Rumble nicht im Meta? Ja, ewig her. Also, ich weiß es actually gar nicht mehr.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think there are a lot of ways for this comp of BNK Fearax to get away. And, you know, they don't have the Lysandra for defensive capability against the really nice pick of the Ahri, Vi, and the Rumble, but we'll see how it plays out. Nongshan looked great in game number 1. Maybe it's B&K's turn in game 2. All right, game number 2. And again, if you lose this best of 5, you're out. Those are the stakes. And Sponge, I think he's going to be okay. He's got Scout nearby, but
yeah,
looks a little scary.
Can't really do too much more than that, especially because he shot the Q the wrong way, and it obviously gives movement speed
So.
on it. So normally you'd shoot it and then run along it. So this is the point of pain, I feel like, really.
Gewinnt Bro gegen wen auch immer die von den beiden hier spielen.
Ezreal Karma,
Also ich finde, Nongshan hat sich ganz gut gemacht.
from level 1.
Yeah.
But Diablo is getting his passive stacked up on the wave. If you can find a window where they miss their skill shots and you aggress, you get the heavy trade out.
Ich finde, Nongshan hat sich ganz gut gemacht.
In that way,
Ja, doch schon.
very aggressive. Almost
Doch schon, ja, warum nicht? Warum nicht?
Scout has Ignite.
Liverpool reach agreement in principle with PSG for 135 Millionen Junge.
I think you should be very careful.
135 Millionen Öcken. Na dann.
Scout, you know, he had this very nice game.
Na dann.
In game number 1. He wasn't necessarily the main character, but he did have 24 stacks of Magi's.
So, jetzt muss
very
ich
important
meinen...
time in the game. So, trying to relive that kind of
Für wen? Für Barcola.
insane amount of power that he had in game number 1 with the lock here. But I'm not sure if he's going to have an easy way to get fed in this game.
I mean, he's got a lot of pressure in lane already. And
135 Millionen.
Ignite and the electric.
Sansa gratuliert. Naja, wir sind jetzt auch nicht auf Plus, also...
To that empowered
Sind
damage.
jetzt nicht...
It's a very real
so nicht Ebene, so dass ich jetzt gratulieren würde. Aber danke fürs Aufhinweisen.
So Raptor is going to be spotted here by Sponge. So Sponge is just going to go ahead and start the red buff. He has Smite available. I think he just
Ist gut vom SpongeBob.
Raptor even realizes what's going on. And he has so much pressure from mid that Sponge doesn't feel
Sehr
like
gut vom
he's a
SpongeBob.
threat to do this. Just moves in, takes the red. Raptor's like, what?
Yeah, I mean,
Where'd it
Kirin
go?
has the 80 prio, Scout has the 80
Also heute ist wieder zu viel Wasser in meinem Porsche, sehe ich jetzt schon.
seen
Ich will ja auch immer random irgendwie gratulieren, ja, weil wir nette Menschen sind.
We've tended to see it's more of a Weather the Storm sort of pick, but Scout finding some good early trades. It's only really bot lane that is suffering right now for Nongshan.
Yeah. And I feel like they knew they were going to run straight into this. Especially, I mean, it is Ezreal, and it's also Taeyun. I mean, he loves his Ezreal. So many of our AD carries here in the LCK love their Ezreal.
So Kellen actually tried to pull the wave, so it pushed backwards, and Lahens used picks on him, which gives vision. The minions followed him into the brush and kind of messed it up, so they had to stay and clear another wave.
Whoa. Support mechanics?
Yeah, it was actually pretty nice from Lahens to prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
And now Diablo's back in the lane with a call, able to pick up that wave pretty handily. Raptor's trying to challenge here.
Was zur Hölle macht der Raptor? Was zur Hölle macht der?
But he's still dead. His first blood. Raptor, I know it's your name, but it's just the Raptors.
Yeah, this was too aggressive. I think the aspect he was factoring in was it's a Nocturne. How much threat is a Nocturne pre-6? For the lock with Ignite is always going to be very relevant in these.
Fixen von meinen Punkten, also. Das ist eine sehr interessante Entscheidung auf jeden Fall vom Raptor.
Abandons it, lands the nails there, and then he ends up having to flash and dash away. Scout chases him, even with the shield, it's not enough. And although it looked like Scout was low, the gray health is.
Ja, Stand jetzt sieht es irgendwie nach Solo-Queue aus vor Prime League, war. Kein Game 5 Brecher. Stand jetzt.
It's fine. Gets the XP. We do have a root here onto Lahens. As this lane still doesn't look.
Also, wir haben auch noch Nocturne Lulu dazu.
He knows what he's in for. I mean, he goes back, he picks up a call.
Wann ist heute PM 17 Uhr? Ist Dario wach? Das ist eine gute Frage, ne? Schauen wir mal im Discord, oder? Wann die letzten Nachrichten waren?
I mean, he's doing okay so far.
Um 4 Uhr von Dario. Und folgende Nachrichten waren's. Geil. Danke, Mann. 4 Uhr im Discord-Server. Keine Menschenseele. Und das sind die Nachrichten. Ne, geil. Danke, Mann.
Save most of his Raptors.
Unglaublich.
Wow, that's a lot of damage, though.
Yeah.
Diablo not having fun still. But Sponge's going to hit level 6 kind of soon. We'll see if he gets it He's not quite going to get it from those two camps on the top side, but I do want to see where he goes first.
Nick was roaming down here and it's made...
An die deutschen Spieler geweckt, dass er einmal seinen zweimal Puls gewonnen haben. Ah, das sieht ganz anders aus. Oh wow, sie diven.
Wave isn't there.
Ah, Wave ist weg.
So, not yet. They are gonna in as
wow, Wickler mit einem geilen Charme. Geiler Charme, wow.
And that does set up Taeyun to get the kill.
Student oder Arbeitsloser. Unter Vertrag, aber gerade arbeitslos. Also, Season ist vorbei.
The setup doesn't look ideal, but the fadeaway charm catches Lehens off guard, and he does get a kill there. I think it would have been pretty bad if he wasn't getting anything out of this roam and bitten his ult.
Beurlaubt, genau, bezahlter Urlaub.
So he Qs
quasi.
through Lehens, and then he ults to reposition the way back, and just gets this like fadeaway charm. And Lehens had flash, didn't see it coming. He flashes the charm, he lives, but the commit is there from Taeyun as well to clean up. And we do see Scout picking up.
Okay, da ist viel zu viel Wasser, aber ich habe auch wieder nur 400 Milliliter. Ich verstehe es nicht. Porridge Mysterium.
It would have been pretty dire.
Yeah, and Sponge, he does hit level 6. He's actually going to move over and challenge the Drake here. Raptor actually started it up, and this is on Vision, but see that being KFRX, they're just going to give it away. This is an early Ocean Drake.
Yeah, you cannot tango with... Sponge not only has the advantage...
Oh, we're just going in. King's looking for the kill. The Equalizer, I don't think even hit him, as I don't think he really has
Rumble is OP.
He's putting on a bunch of damage on the clear at least.
Going for a heavy trade, has a Hex Drinker now, which makes it very difficult to all in return. And Sponge now has the level 6, but didn't even have upgraded Smite when he was doing that Dragon. So just could not contest Sponge with ult, with the upgraded Smite at all.
Man kann das mehr oder weniger auf Wasser aufnehmen. Ja, chillig.
Yeah.
Aber ich heute einfach den unglaublichen Low-Roll, das muss jetzt wieder eine Stunde stehen.
This time on the other side. And, I mean, this is part of why Kingen did pick the blind Ambessa before they locked in lock last. It's just, he kind of knew this Rumble was coming, and if it wasn't, I mean, they already banned the Renekton for safety, and then Olaf was banned by BNK4X as well. As they went pretty far down the lane here, the fear is
Oh wow, die haben Flash danach. Okay.
That is a kill from
Oh je, Freunde von FearX, wie machen wir es? Hau noch 100 Gramm Haferflocken rein, ja, oder?
Set up here in the bot lane gets them a kill.
Yeah, nicely played there by Nongshim, and Taeyun bidding his flash earlier to get the kill.
Ja, oder?
Ends up costing him. Nice.
Lass mich nochmal so 400 Kalorien reinjagen. Das hört sich sehr smart an.
So, Kellen ends up going aggressive here in this moment. And it's when the channel of the ult comes through, Lehens walks up, polymorphs him, and it means it's so easy to get that fear off.
Gains kommen nicht von alleine.
Really
Ja, die Sache ist, es sollen keine Gains kommen. Nochmal auf Diät.
Exact timing. Ezreal not the easiest champion to gank.
Yeah, it's a really good look, I would say, because ganking the Ahri is rough. I mean, top lane you can go for the Rumble, but he's kind of being pushed in, and Best a little bit conditional about, you know, the follow-up and the setup and stuff. So you just look for the Ezreal, of course. It is very much kind of against the normal thinking, but...
Ja, sieht schwer aus, das Game. Sieht super, super schwer aus. Weil diese Nocturne-Ulti-Picks werden noch nicht aufhören. Und sobald der Lock sich dann noch involviert auf der Map, wird es nochmal unangenehmer.
And I think they're going to be happy with the setup they have for these team fights. Their lock is already doing pretty well. Scout hasn't run away with a lead.
That's a big thing for me, though, because we've seen so many scouts, so many locks just be kind of inactive in lane, not really ever get the value of the pick. But the fact that scouts already had this early pressure is good. Now, they are trying to set up for a play here. They'll get damage onto the tower. But the move down by Sponge and Scout will make them hesitant to press anymore. I say, but they just wait long enough.
Full Dive.
Yeah, just
Nocturne Ulti noch nicht ab.
Stick around as they are going to go in on a Diablo. That is Ahri and that is Vi. The Wild Growth comes through and Diablo. No way for him to get away without the flash. As they think they're safe, but BNK4X.
I mean, das ist ein harter Commit, aber es ist natürlich ein guter Commit, weil schaut mal, Rumble ist Mitte gemoved, dementsprechend verlieren nicht meine Wave auf Mitte. Das war map-technisch gesehen sehr nice von BFX, also wirklich sehr, sehr nice.
And BNK4X just fully committed and end up getting
auch Rotation und so weiter.
Taeyun in particular has been the main beneficiary of these plays from BNK4X. Has a decent lead now in the bot lane. I mean, this is why Vi was always so popular into Yunara specifically, and she's obviously popular in general, but when Yunara came on the scene and was super broken, Vi was a big answer.
So, mein Ring geht heute nicht. Warum nicht, mein Schatz?
Not much counterplay.
Yeah.
Warum
Especially with
nicht
the Ari
arbeiten, ne?
that will always be able to follow up. It doesn't matter how far you dash away. Ari will always be able to follow up and
Penner.
dash. And then, of course, Charm onto an immobile target most of the time does land. And, yeah, Vicla's Ari has always been very strong. So I'm sure he's having a fun time in this game. Top lane we've looked at a lot. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of farm fest up there. The Mbessa's first item is going to be delayed because of the Hex Drinker. But eventually she gets there.
It's more exciting than the typical.
Machst alle Ringe das Faxen matt. Das hat eigentlich ewig keine Faxen mehr gemacht. Also eigentlich gibt es nicht sehr viel Sinn.
Very even, a lot of trading, then they just kind of reset.
Mal wieder aus dem Nix.
Yeah. Now though, Nongshim are making the counterplay on the
doch, jetzt.
lane that we just saw before.
Aha.
They'll get
Okay.
Diablo access to the tower. He's going to pick
Super
up some
Sache.
points. This is a window where Raptor and Vikla are resetting for that one
Ja,
item.
Full Spike. Zahners Guy plus Malignance.
One item spikes.
Aber bei Nongshim sind halt auch full gespiked.
And it will help close the difference between the 80 carries in terms of gold. Nongshim more pretty patient with the play.
Warum bleibt man denn nicht am Turret? Ja, ich glaube, die Odds wegzurennen sind wahrscheinlich ein bisschen höher als unterm Turret zu sein, aber ich glaube, du stirbst so oder so. Ist es jetzt in Hindsight besser, wäre es in Hindsight besser gewesen, um am Turret zu bleiben? Yo. Aber so nimmst du halt die Botlane quasi raus, ne? Aus dem Äquivalent. Aus der Rechnung. Du nimmst die Botlane raus aus der Rechnung. Weil sie ja quasi nicht durch den Turret durchlaufen können, einfach so. In der Theorie.
Scout, by the way, just got his upgraded boots, but doesn't own any boots.
Yeah.
They're not benefiting from that right now. I feel like a reset to pick that up would be pretty valuable.
Vikla probably also
Both junglers are down here in the bot lane.
Yeah, trying to set something up here as Kellen might be in a bit of trouble. They do go in on the Ezreal spot.
Das war eine horrible Entscheidung.
Both top laners
Oh, wow, beide Toplaner. Equalizer ist gut. Ich glaube, Nongshim gewinnt das nicht. Ja. SpongeBob ist tot.
In a bit of trouble against the wall. They do take him down as Clear is burning everyone
Wow.
under the turret. So much damage comes out from that rumble.
Was hat...
Raptor goes super deep, but it pays off.
Also ich sage jetzt, guck mal. Okay, Paul Dank für den 16.
Kill for Vicla's Ari.
The cleanup is there. Clear makes a massive impact.
Dieser Rumble-Champion, ja.
Fight. And the thing is, Vikla was able to TP there. Scout had to walk. He was very late. And BNK FX showing why they prioritized this composition, even though it was very clear that Nongshim knew was coming.
Also da fängt er schon an. So, warum SpongeBob, warum gehst du nicht auf Cannon drauf? Auf den Ezreal.
But Clear comes in and just starts absolutely melting. Equalizer comes down. He's got his heat up. Just starts torching the backline. And meanwhile, Vikla is just free to fly around the fight. Scout gets here now and immediately gets exhausted. And then just gets rooted by Khaled and dies. So,
yeah,
you know, we've had this issue with Locke, especially since the nerfs, where he's in a game, doesn't have the most impact, and kind of is just like a cannon minion. Hasn't been able to really have that big impact this game yet. So we'll see if that changes. But right now, Vikla 4-0-2 on the Ari. Very strong.
He has 10 stacks on his Darksteel. I mean, there is a world where if they get ahead enough, he just builds an early mid-dies, and this game is just Ari dominated. It's not going to be a fun time, and you can see that BNK FX's bottom lane, they just move mid after they take the bot turret, and they're continuing to put on a lot of pressure, but
Kai fertig.
the mid diff in terms of gold, that's the biggest one right now. Couple of Drakes
Ist definitiv auch wieder ein Sonja-Game später für Diablo.
So certainly still
Später.
They pick that up. Yeah, it's not fun to play in Ezreal Karma.
No. No one behind now they are.
Nee, Mann, also ich mache immer 400 Milliliter rein.
I mean, they're so strong.
Das ist einfach flüssiger.
Yeah, there's the charm on top of it.
Oh, er stirbt nicht. Oh doch, er stirbt. Lol.
Does come
Execution kommt.
after the fact from the grave.
Ich dachte nicht, dass es 10% HP oder was haben wir sind. 11%.
After the flash out, but I think the execute kind of caught him off guard. You can't flash from the distance of the execute, but he flashed to avoid that last tower hit, then maybe could have lived.
Yeah.
Ja, und es gibt der Herald und sie haben 2 Drakes.
Decent answer back from Scout
Auch playable.
in that situation, but
Rumble ist nun mal wieder ein Problem, wie immer halt. Komisch.
kind of see target, kill target. in this game. 5-0-2 now for Vikla.
And Sponge, interestingly, what he's doing is he went for that big dive-in bot that just brought the whole team very far down the lane. It was not great. But after the fact, he's like, okay, Raptor's off the mat. I get the one Drake. Okay, he died in the top lane dive. I get the Rift Herald. He's like, okay, I'm just going to objective max now. As now he's going to ult on in. There's the combo. The polymorph comes in, and there's really nothing Kellen can do except position better.
Noch den Ulti into Lulu Ulti into Polymorph. Enjoy. Und dann kommt noch der 4 durch und so.
It's getting a little scrappy.
A nice pickup, though, from Nongshim. The thing is, they're not that far behind in gold. We talked about some of the strengths of their team fight. They have 2 dragons in pocket and this Herald now. It's a Hextech Soul. Definitely a big win con for them. And we'll see what they're able to do in the next few minutes before that dragon. Now, I think, Scout, you may be in trouble. There's no ult on the Vi, though, and that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm surprised he...
Scout hat Flash noch. Wait, für was?
Drop an ult
Hallo?
clear and just try to go for the kill. Maybe assume that Raptor would not be down here. As now he's going to look for Raptor, who flashes into the wall.
Yeah.
And he is barely not going to get executed. There he is, okay?
That was pretty close. Not the best flash from Raptor, if I'm being honest.
I've seen worse, but yeah. It's just seeing the timing of his ult.
Yeah, no, it's hard to say if you could have flashed earlier.
Kann sie One aussuchen? Genau. T1 sucht sie aus, gegen wen sie spielen. Nicht gegen KT oder Bro, also kommt drauf an, wer gewinnt. Also erstmal müssen die Bros ja morgen gewinnen, right? Aber ja, T1 darf sich aussuchen, wen sie wollen. Entweder Switch-Bonus-Subs-Ding, ja, aber am 1. September geht's ja mit September los. Hallo Dito. Haben wir die Badges auch und so weiter.
I'll wait for a window with my cooldowns to burst someone out. In fairness, was pretty close. Now, we do have the Medjais coming through for Vikla. So, Yari is very strong at this point of the game.
He's the majority of the gold lead right now for BNK FearX. I mean, they have gold leads elsewhere as they're looking now for clear as the flash comes first, as he is going to go golden with the arm guard. I don't know if it helps him. The equalizer, though, huge amount of damage into Sponge, but the Ambessa just dives away, dashes, and gets out of there. They're looking for the snipe, but they're actually moving forward. That was so close, by the way.
Sehr guter Kill. Also super wichtiger Kill auch, weil der Sidon halt... Weil er Sidon halt jetzt richtig fett Gold für Kingen gibt. Und irgendwie dann besser ist auch... Ja.
240.
So that gold lead less than 1,000 now. You've taken away some of Clear's massive tools. Like, think how impactful in that bot lane fight his flash was. That's now gone. The Seekers is gone, which is like the Rumble special where you stasis as you're burning with the flame spitter out. And I mean, Clear tried everything to survive, and unfortunately just didn't even really burn much from the other side. Like, both of these two kept their flashes. And now as we look towards that fight in 50 seconds, third dragon it would be for Nongshim. I feel a lot less sure of them than I was before. I will say, Taeyun getting that 2-arm spike is pretty nice.
Yeah, it does feel very good, and I mean,
Taeyun has Eclipse and more, and there's a lot of magic damage on BNK FearX. Like, not just the solo laners, but Ezreal does a lot of magic damage too. He's going to be really hard to kill.
Yeah, it's definitely a good call, I would say. I mean, this Ambessa...
Hallo Juli, danke für die 315er Streak. Einkaufen gewesen und wieder festgestellt, dass wir... Eine regelmäßige Auffrischung davon und so, okay, mal wieder die Halbtoten, ja. Mal wieder die Halbtoten.
Added the extra magic resist to all the 80 carries. You know, Ezreal's win rate dropped the most because he does have a lot of magic damage that suffered from that. So obviously does a lot of physical, but does have a good amount of magic damage in the kit, so you can optimize against that. Yeah, they're just opting out of this one instead, looking to get some more gold. That's the thing, is that it would be fantastic to get that dragon, but they're not under pressure when they have the advantage in terms of those dragons. They do pick up a lot of gold for it. King now 1,200 ahead. Now they look like
Was zur Hölle hat Raptor da gerade gemacht? Oh mein Gott.
They do get the ult down. And finally, it's just a trade as now the Ambessa lines it up, finds...
Ich sag, das King ist halt so strong hier auch.
So tanky, look at him, we were just talking about this. As the charm even comes in, the Mikhail system...
Oh mein Gott, Diable.
Yunara is as well, the exhaust on the King is going...
Zu viel.
Still alive, he's getting the reset, picks up the triple. And now Scout just trying to get away. Barely will be able to do so, but Vickless 8-0.
He's so strong now. 24 stack Medjai's there. And honestly,
So gut der Fight eigentlich.
without using summoners, Scout didn't really have an impact in that fight.
Ja, keine Ahnung, warum die den Ding nicht First Pick haben. I mean, das ist TP-Shit, I guess. Mal schauen.
The momentum just snowballs so hard. We see here, they commit heavily to stop the Vive from playing the game, but they just trade 1-for-1. The ult comes out here.
Ich bin 22, also ab 22 Jahre alt ist.
Times out before anyone really gets low.
Boah, die hitten ihn halt schon, ne? Aber das ist TP-Schild plus Eclipse-Schild plus W-Schild.
And the charm gets cleansed, but then the orb deception just catches Diablo, takes him out. He doesn't expect the damage, and he doesn't use his sums. King essentially just runs out of cooldowns.
Ich hab Karo doch,
And Vickler is just doing.
also Karo bringt mir ja diese, hier,
I think for me, kind of the bigger
na? Ihn hier mit. Right? Hat ihn gestern geholt. Und jetzt hat sie geschrieben, der mit den weißen Haaren ist auch Ruffy. Ich kann nicht mehr. Ich kann nicht mehr. Gerage-baited. Tauschstellung für die 225er Streak. Aber I guess sie schaut kein One Piece, deswegen, ja. How could she know? Holy fuck.
Yeah, what happened to him? I don't know. We do have Sponge also just going to throw up a Paranoia and goes for the big flash over the wall.
It's Terry again, and they're going to go over to him and pretty easily just clear this one up. Sponge, low health, in base, not going to get anyone here. Just has a Hex Gates to help.
You just saw him walk in the bush.
Wow.
Well, jetzt haben sie sich leider verhauen, ne? Der letzte Fight war noch ziemlich gut, dann wollten sie zu viel. Schade.
That King did that, but at least Sponge is relatively close, but with no ult, no flash. How are you reaching the pit?
Yeah, I don't think the walk in a straight line is going to work here. Although, no, yes, they're not going to try it, and it's probably a good call. BNK FearX, though, going to get a lot of momentum from this. At least the mid turret goes to Nongshin, but that's all they're going to get. In the lead again, it's basically just Ahri.
I'm a little worried. Vickler might be close to Rabadons. And when that happens...
Yeah, you got a second rod before you went into this replay.
Just deleted. And Sponge has to get this flash to disengage. Spins a Paranoia to try and stop some follow-up. Yeah, there's just a ton of damage. The Morphman Mortier shield honestly looking pretty small when it comes to not really helping Kingen too much there. Oh, and speaking of Kingen,
he does have some follow-up.
Oft ja, oh Gott, weiß wo das hinkommt.
Yeah. Enough damage onto him, so he's able to disengage from that. They burn 2 big ults from BNK FearX. Nice pickup, honestly.
Does Vickler need more damage? Maybe he should have just gone for Zhonya's. I don't know if he needs a Rabadons. I mean, it certainly makes Ahri's damage a bit more consistent.
I think it gets to the point where you just like ult and W and someone's just taking so much damage. This flank is coming in.
Well, he's going to have some follow-up. They're going in, and Vickler is getting pretty low, but yeah, the follow-up a little bit late is now finally Scout trying to do something.
Well, Kill. Wow, Diablo macht so viel Damage. Wow, Diablo macht so viel Damage. Holy shit, Diablo macht so viel Damage. Dass er da überlebt hat.
As it is a double kill for Taeyun, and a big fight win once again for BNK FearX.
But honestly,
hätte er ein Item mehr gehabt, wow, er hat einen More gefinisht, statt mehr Damage zu kaufen. Ja. Wer hat den Kill bekommen? Am besser? Oder war es, Scout hat die 1000 bekommen, okay. Wow.
It's so close, though, to Diablo popping off. Taeyun did a good job of finishing off the kill. But I would say this fight specifically, Nongshim can be happy with the outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought they were going to be able to get more off the back of that. It does look like BNK FearX do have position on the Drake, so at least they have that. A couple of Drakes in their pocket is very likely. See Nongshim not even coming over here. And they still have the gold lead, but yeah, now you get a lot of gold onto Scout. And, I mean, you've still got this 3-item Yunara.
Yeah, but the third item's more, which kind of slows some of your damage progression. Like, you're a long way from, like, IE and your Mortal Reminder or LDR. So I can understand the reasoning behind it, but it does mean you are a bit less threat for the time being. Second dragon picked up by BNK FearX. So now even in terms of those, and the Baron does time out now.
KMOP-Champ, well, könnten wir nur irgendwo Serpents-Fan kaufen. Oh, sie haben die Teil-Kombo verkackt. Lol. Lol.
So, it does not work out. Lehens.
Q-Ulti. Auf Wiedersehen, Buddy. Wow, und dass sie dann auch committen. Oh mein Gott.
Scout immediately dies as well. And now the follow-up is here on a Diablo who's just trying to kite it out. He's doing quite a lot of damage, but...
Es ist halt so geil, weil sie können dann nicht ihren Support liegen lassen. Geht nicht. Sie müssen fighten.
Half-hearted play from Gnome to get Vikla does not work out.
Sie müssen nachfighten.
The plan was Lehen's gonna flash polymorph Vikla, so you can't dash away before the fear comes in. You kill the Ahri.
Aber an sich diese Nocturne-Lulu-Kombo ist natürlich sehr stark.
I see the theory behind it. Very hard to do in practice, and Vikla responded immediately. He's now back to 25 stacks, has a Rabadon. You can see here, so they go for it. Lehen tries to get in range, and I mean, even gets. Did he actually? I don't think he even got the polymorph on it.
No, I mean he ulted and Vikla just responded so quickly.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, the polymorph and the ult on the Nocturne can cause a lot of disruption, but just a good response there from Vikla.
The Outla's so tanky, but he doesn't he doesn't do a lot of damage.
He's just behind.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah, if you look at Vikla's items now, 25 stack Magi's, Rabadons, so fed, so strong, and just kind of capable of just one-shotting people as you ult past them. I mean, not going to do all the damage yourself, but it's a lot of just consistent damage now. So much
Oh mein. Was? Jetzt, also wenn ich jetzt rausgehe, ist auch wieder fein. Was zur Hölle hat Raptor da wieder gemacht? Aber sie gehen nicht raus. Sie
very much cut off from the rest of the team. Exhaust also going to come down. He's just trying to blast on his way away from this one. But I think eventually he'll just catch him.
Hä?
Keep running, King, and never stop.
Okay, maybe not. Yeah, just keep going.
Oh, I think if he gets his shield up and then oh no, Vic was there. It's gonna be really hard.
Er TP't raus, ne?
Gonna come in here.
Player
can't
lebt.
stop it. Player can't stop it.
Yeah.
They needed Vikla in range for the charm.
Alright.
Fine Trade. Am Ende des Tages müssen sie eigentlich nur einmal diese Nocturne-Lulu-Kombo auf Vikla drauf bekommen.
Yes.
Und dann ist auch.
Well,
I love that mechanic.
A minute 50 until that next dragon. Baron's up and available now, well, in 10 seconds. So, a potential cause for concern here. And a Seeker's Arm God has been picked up by Vikla. So, a lot of these plays we saw Nongshim attempting to shut down the Ahri were already thin margins. And they just kind of became even more difficult. Not kind of, they did become more difficult.
Yeah. You see Raptor.
Raptor in the Raptors? He's pretending that he's...
Warum bin ich Sub? Weil es hier nette Öler gibt.
How can they tell the difference? Honestly, I don't know.
Hard to distinguish.
Komm gerne öfters vorbei. Und Sub ab sofort selbst. Wie wär's?
Honestly, I would be fooled.
It's like the carrier Gromp moment.
Yeah.
You know, you just walk in there.
Ja, er geht LDA. Oder ich hoffe, er geht LDA. Okay, er kann nicht Shieldball gehen, also er muss LDA gehen. Okay. Deal? So, guck mal. Sehr schön. Ja, entweder hat G2 verloren oder ich hatte Geburtstag. Also einer der beiden Occasions sind sehr realistisch. Oh mein Gott. Ja, Maus noch nicht geblockt, ne? Z equalizen kann auf jeden Fall. Er kann sich hochhealen. Der Auftrag ist angerichtet.
Yeah. Well, is just opting to stay around and heal up. Dragons up.
Beides sogar der Fall gewesen. Es war sogar beides der Fall, aber einer der beiden Occasions wird es wohl gewesen sein.
In the dragon area, it's pretty sparse. So the danger is if you head over towards that dragon, it's not Soul, and BNK FearX is just moving to the Baron immediately. Now Nongshim have a choice. They can try and rush in and contest, potentially face check. They could have also gone to the dragon. They opt to go for the face check.
Yeah, and somebody has to do it. It will be Scout. There's the combo.
Da ist die Combo und er ist tot. Oh, er ist nicht tot. Ist er tot?
Scout is going to die.
Oh mein Gott. Oh, das Sonjas hat so gecarried. GG.
Says you did not respect my Ari. Could have just banned it, and they elected not to. And BFX looked fantastic. 15 kills on Vikla.
Vor 3 Tagen, welches war's? Am 24. Also am 23. hatte ich Geburtstag. 24. 24. war Montag, da hat G2 verloren. Dann war es actually G2, ja. Ey. Malaika. 24. war G2 los, ja.
After game 1, we weren't 100% sure, but I think both teams making it possible here, especially Vikla for his immaculate game of Ari.
Couple of explosive games. Both of them, it's been a lot of aggression, a lot of leading the charge, dictating the pace. And I feel like that might be the trend that continues throughout the series. After game 1, it was looking a little rough for being BFX. This is a phenomenal bounce back on a composition we've seen, not even specifically this roster, but this organization used time and time before.
Yeah, and I feel like a couple of times, you know, game 1 being BFX.
Ah, er hat gerade gespielt. Sehr geiles Game von Ari, aber auch ein bisschen zu deep einfach von Nongshim, oder? Ich glaube, das Game war sehr, sehr winnable für Nongshim, to be honest. Ja. Was pickt man momentan gegen Ryze? Im Pro-Play? Oder jetzt für deine Solo-Queue? Cassio ist mit eins der besten Matchups, die du spielen kannst. Wahrscheinlich das beste Matchup. Syndra. Victor kannst du theoretisch spielen. Ah, ich hab's verpasst. Was verpasst? Spiel? Oder G2 lose gegen Jinx. Anivia kannst du auch picken. Anivia kannst du auch spielen, ja. Aber Ryze gegen Anivia gewinnt momentan relativ viele Official Games, weil der Ryze im Early Game halt so viel Agency hat.
하다가 나 견제하러 갈게 나.
나도 견제할게 그냥. 확인. 이거 쌈으로 가자.
내 공 나한테 박았다. 나 괜찮아. 나 존재 써. 존재 썼어. 괜찮아. 빨았어.
젤리 줘. 젤리 다 줘.
게임 거 왔어.
그래. 나이스.
이제 가자.
나 집텔. 로커 야겠다.
아린더스.
끝났다.
나 집텔.
아 미카엘 좋은데 형격.
Welcher Song ist das? Shazamt mal. Das ist actually ein sehr banger Song.
in the dark, X on the cross. One last prayer, then the lights go out. Cross realigned when the shadows fall. Cold hands on the stake. 겁나지 않아 우리 보면 all black when we come around. 상처 안고 let the cold sink in. 어둠 속에서 where we begin. 판을 뒤집어 turn it upside down. X marks don't move. There is no way out. 어둠 속으로 we rise right now. 기도했지 no answer came. 어둠 속에
Na, LCK Kiki-Song, auch die performen auch beim Finale, ne? Das sind so Banger, ja klar. Pain in the Dark heißt der Song. Hab ihn. Pain in the Dark. Diese Brecht einfach von Leuten. Aber ist nicht auf Spotify. Ja. Da ist er. Ja, Pain in the Dark. Aber ist nur auf YouTube gerade. Bitch. Aber ist ein Banger-Song, no joke. Kannst du nichts sagen. Ist ein Banger-Song. Who killed justice waited? Echt so ein Banger-Song, what the fuck.
Welcome back to the space, everyone. It is tied up 1-1 as Vikla, all players on BNK Vikla has a pop-off game, buys the Morello Nomicon, stacks it up, dies at the end for fun, still gets the victory here. It is BNK 1-1 here with Nongshim in this elimination play-in match. Gentlemen, this is now just a best of 3 with a couple of champs banned out.
That is true. And I gotta say, I think yesterday was a lot more about the different concept, like battling around how they want to play in-game. But I think today is more about the draft. Again, I think the game 2 was really greedy draft by Nongshim here. I feel like picking Yunara Lulu when Azure Karma is up, that's illegal.
It's 100% illegal. I mean, it looked fine because the Nocturne actually helps so much on the bottom and also.
So musste Kader, das ist krank. Kommt vermutlich erstmal im Finale auf Spotify und Co. Ja, ich performe auch beim LCK-Finale live. Und ich Köter bin dann wahrscheinlich nicht daheim. Didi, mal eine kurze Frage. Wie stehst du zu so 2 Uhr morgens nach Hause fahren nach dem Premier League-Finale? Ich fahre auch.
That's actually what happened in the game. Like, you use the TP limitation on bottom, you use so much pressure to actually move to the bottom, and then you actually make the fight around the bot, it's so favor for BNK.
That's what I was gonna like talk as well. On the top side, I think
Der will mit uns noch saufen. Okay, aber ich kann ja fahren.
was also crucial. So again, game 1 it was Nongshim getting an insane draft, but game 2 it was literally opposite.
Yeah, big draft here, and I said Morella number.
Wenn er eine Alkoholvergiftung hat, ist mir ja egal.
Yeah, sorry.
Muss ja eh nur da als Alkoholleiche neben Brand liegen.
Let's take a look at the highlights from this last one. It starts off on the bottom side of the map. That gets Azari going.
Yeah, this is where
Nur Fan bringt mich um die Zeit ins Auto. Ja, aber ich könnte ja fahren, checkst du?
shenanigans in the early game, but
Das ist dann wieder gut genug. Na, ansonsten nehme ich einen Zug um Mitternacht nach Hause.
Flash
So deep ist es jetzt nicht.
so he ulted first, and Rumble comes in, and Ari comes in. This is the situation that you really wanted to have as a Rumble Ari in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, Rumble ulti could have been a little bit better. The angle.
Ich wollte entspannt mit dem Frühstücken. Ja, okay, easy.
Like, I'll be
All good.
happier a little
Kein
bit, but
Stress.
Still, overall, I think Taeyeon opens up the fight really, really smart. Like, as soon as like he was.
Dann wird's der Zug um Mitternacht.
He just used vision into flash, and it actually went to the screens away. So that actually buys time so much for the time to teammate to get closer and at the same time TP. So I think it was really, really nice play by Taeyeon there.
Yeah, huge start here for BNK Furex. They took control of the game, but it was scrappy.
Ein Mann, der kommt im Gegensatz zu dir. Ja, stimmt. Um Mitternacht Zug nehmen, damit ich um 7 Uhr live sein kann, ist wieder nicht gut von mir.
It was a great flank here by King.
Geil.
Nongshim Red Force find an angle to
Bin wieder ein Bastard, sorry.
A little misstep here was misfortune for the rest of Nongshim.
So the fight was pretty long here, and Raptor got literally one shot by Nocturne. I mean, they traded one-on-one. So here's the actual fight going on, and I was kind of surprised that Taeyeon didn't really use the exhaust.
Aber mit uns frühstücken auf gar keinen Fall.
But it was completely fine. But just keep eyes on Yunara here. He's the carry, and he is the main character for this team fight. But him dying without using any summoner spell here is so crucial. And after that, it was just Vikla collecting another stacks for his book.
I mean, it's the same thing in the composition. Like, it's like at the draft, like when you have a support, it's actually Enchanter, and you're playing hyper-rated carry. This type of the mistake, it's actually losing play. I mean, it could be winning play, winning moment, but the thing is like the punishment is like high risk, high reward. As soon as she get punished there, not using any summon spells, and you lose whole control of the map.
Not gonna lie, this is not the first time Diablo dying without using any.
Das, was wir gesprochen haben, steht.
I've seen so many times in this season.
Was haben wir gesprochen gestern? Ich war sehr müde.
His team in the team.
Afterparty auf keinen Fall.
Often dying without using any summon spells. I think this could be fixed, you know, like, but this happened again in this game, so he couldn't really save the team.
Yeah, and in the past, he's been the guy that you're able to play around like that, and it's just been a couple times now, as you said, we did, where he's been.
Ist Road to World First diesmal eigentlich nicht gehypt oder sowas?
Yeah. And then it leads to
Oder warum bekommt man davon nichts mit?
Final fight here over in.
Oder ist es einfach nur, weil es halt kein frisches neues Set ist?
Yeah, at this point, you gotta kill Ari. He already has 25 stacks and decap in his pocket, so it was really just hard to think about winning the team fight. Initially, it looked good, but he has judges.
I mean, I think it was like probably I would say it's gonna be. It was like one of the best engaged.
Da habe ich auf keinen Fall zugesagt und weiß ich noch nicht. Bin vielleicht schon anders verabredet. Keine Versprechen. Wenn ich sonst nichts mache am Freitagabend, dann ja. Irgendwie sind da nicht so viele Zuschauer, wie sonst aktuell, aber Endboss ist noch nicht dran. Interesting. Weil irgendwie ist noch nicht beim Endboss, aber es vom Viewerzahlen her fühlt sich das trotzdem weniger an als die Initial Road to World First bei der Expansion, aber vielleicht ist es auch super.
Moments here. We showed Diablo not flashing there. We showed these Zonias right on time there. It has been very fun to watch how these teams are deciding to play it out.
Yeah, especially when we think about this matchup, we think that the Nongshim's main carry.
Erster Raid hat meins mehr Hype, ja, das war auch so gut, ne? Nago hat auch Kostüm von der Gamescom, interesting.
But today, it feels like he's doing.
Bekommen wir alle Normalmangel, es gibt keine Normalmangel, verpisst euch.
Is 1-to-1 you saw there. The 98 boys, Scout and Lehen,
Verpisst euch aus meinem Leben.
bring the youngins and the rest of his team to victory. Will they be able to do it? Dikla trying to say something.
First Raid der Expansion ist immer größer, ja, okay. Ja, das ist auch so meine Wahrnehmung.
We are getting ready for game number 3. Vikla absolutely able to step up to the plate in that game number 2.
Quabröki ist viel zu lustig, okay? Mein Doppelkill in Fragen beantworten. Hier also ein Q&A vor 22 Stunden. Wie viele Fragen hat er beantwortet? Ah, keine einzige. Arschgeil, Bro.
Nach dem sehr erfolgreichen Q&A von
Ja.
gestern werde ich heute mit auf die Gamescom nehmen. Da hinten ist meine Assistenz.
So geil.
Hallo. Hallo, ich bin die Assistenz. Hallo Assistenz. Und wir werden heute...
Jetzt pass auf.
Und ich habe auf gar keinen Fall hier geschlafen, weil das ist mir illegal.
So, jetzt pass auf, okay. Es wird noch geiler. Seine Bilder von der Gamescom. Wow.
Ja, auf jeden Fall machen wir die Gamescom. Da sind wir alle. Und da treffe ich Menschen. Und da nehme ich euch mit für Knabedrinks. Wir haben da nämlich
pass auf.
Leute. Ich war nehmen Reels auf und Stories und zeigen euch die Gamescom mal aus Sicht von 2 Rentnern. Einem Rentner. Was ist das für eine Verräterscheiße?
Jetzt pass auf. So. Erstes Bild. Zweites Bild. Ich schwör, er ist viel zu lustig. Wie kann man so lustig sein? Ich check's nicht. Wie kann man so lustig sein? Ohne Spaß. Ich verstehe es nicht. Das ist so krank.
Banned away. We did have a ban in game number 2 and 1. Actually, just a lot of Rise focus.
Q&A. Keine einzige Frage beantwortet. Ey, das ist so Killer, ne? Ohne Spaß. Wow. Das ist so fucking funny.
Yeah, feel those Olaf stocks beginning to rise
Oh,
a bit here.
Definitely makes sense, and the Rise is just banned outright by BNK FearX, and you know we saw last game it was like banned.
Oriana auch raus. Olaf. Olaf, meine Freunde.
In the top lane, especially with some of the thinning of the core.
Es ist der Olli.
Against Olaf, there's still a lot of the options we see countering it, but those counters have been a bit hit or miss. Lucian yet to be banned, so Annie coming through. Is this just going to be Lucian banned from BNK FearX?
I mean, both these guys are fantastic Lucian players. I think already
Olaf.
4 really strong.
Aber Lucian will ja auch geben. Mit Yunara Lulu auch noch raus. Interesting. Wollen die an Sayarakan? Wollen die Olaf 1 into Sayarakan 2-3 gehen? Oder gehen sie Lucian First Pick?
Lucian being taken away.
Lucian Ban oder First Pick?
Yeah, it's been Nongshim banning Lucian every game so far, and it felt like they're setting up to pick this one, so it gets denied here and taken away. And then Syndra.
Syndra stattdessen. Okay, das heißt, du gibst dann
We
Olaf?
often see do really well into Rise. Rise not even on the cards, but just a pick that, you know, BDD's had fantastic performances on, Chovy's had fantastic performances on. Scout can be very confident, but
Olaf's really good into Syndra.
yes, good at ignoring the stuns. So that gets locked in, and then the Seraphine too. So setting up the prospect of just being able to buff up that Bruiser, make him a bit too hard to kill. He's too angry to be CC'd, and then he can like ult on the top.
I said that mainly because he was on camera with a nice little grin.
I think one thing is that you can sometimes be in an awkward position picking Seraphine here, that you have to take like your AD carry on 3. But actually,
C9 eine Chance bei dem 9. Massaker. Okay, ganz kurz. Warum sollte C9 sich nicht für Worlds qualifizieren? Hast du mal die anderen Teams da drüben gesehen? FlyQuest ist komplett out of the race für mich. Und dann ist halt Sentinels. Und Sentinels hat halt 2 Humans in dem Team. Und C9 hat in der Essenz eigentlich nur einen Vollversager. Spielt Blabber spielt noch und das ist ein Riesenproblem. Ich finde die Fearix First Free schon... Ezreal ist raus. Oh, sie gehen Ashe gegen Jackson nach Fury Syndra. Was mittlerweile ist ins beides wird zurück. Also der Diktator ist zurück. Wie gesagt, hat er gesagt, das war die Expected Länge, die er nicht da war. Ja, Diablo sehe ich jetzt nicht auf Mel persönlich, aber sie könnten Mel spielen. Die haben schon Double AD.
Into this. I wonder if they'll be concerned about things like Mel. They go for the Zeri first and foremost, even though there's no Lulu available. We've often seen like Mel plus engage support be a big threat. Don't even speak.
I was watching yesterday when Gio had a little cat on his back.
Yep.
Could happen again in this series.
The Akali ban makes good sense here. Any melee divers, pretty powerful. And the Callisto banned away. Callisto not is something we saw picked into Ashe Seraphine all the time ago when it was very much in the meta.
Glaubst du, vielleicht kannst du Roster Challenge machen? Ja. Ich glaube, der Türke auf Toplane wird sich verabschieden nach dem Jahr.
Xin Zhao is available, but Xin Zhao as a Jax feels a little...
Wäre meine Einschätzung.
Diana.
An interesting ban.
Is that like a pick that you could see into Syndra, I wonder? I feel like that's a jungle Diana ban, but not 100% sure. We're hovering Vel'Koz. That's not an auto attacker.
And Vikla Azir is a classic for him. And
Who's
I think
that?
Provides some peel for the bot lane, can also operate at a longer distance, makes a good amount of sense. Diablo going for the Varus here, something we've seen really fall off in terms of the meta.
Nautilus, yeah.
So a lot of kill pressure. A lot of kill pressure for the squishy bot lane. I'm wondering what sort of Varus it's going to be. Because I think Oak Varus is going to have the long...
Jax Olaf Matchup ist sehr snowbally und ich glaube, ein gut gespielter Jax kann gewinnen.
Shredding the Olaf, but might struggle to really...
Das Matchup selbst.
And now it's the option.
Man spielt der polnische Diktator wieder Samstag, 2. Series, Sonntag, 1. Series.
In the top lane.
Xante last pick, Olaf Jungle.
So not having to match into the Jax here.
Olaf Jungle.
Value is still going to be the Olaf value. You know, it'll be a bit lower level in the jungle. And clearing the Xante pick, he's pretty confident on. Honestly, I think for BNK Ferex, they have a very bulky top jungle.
Boah, ich kann das nicht einschätzen.
Up with the Seraphine, the Ashe and...
Die haben auf jeden Fall DPS für den Olaf, das ist das Ding.
...the damage from a distance. And for Nongshim, I'm not super confident they can cut through this bulk so easily. There's a lot of team fighting power here for BNK Ferex.
I do think the Jax value is still very nice, even if it doesn't get that quote-unquote counter matchup into the Olaf.
Weiß nicht. Ich finde beide Drafts irgendwie komisch. Also beides kann gewinnen, beides kann verlieren gefühlt.
Win more. I think in this case with Seraphine in the meta and for the backup and you have another tank alongside of you, we can see it still doing Olaf things. But it's not that top Olaf that gets very far ahead and takes over the game that we have been seeing in recent times. So
they did buff his damage to jungle camps. Not too
ja, haben sie, aber
gave a pretty big increase, so
mal schauen.
Some patch note readers perhaps here on the side.
Seraphine kann hier natürlich sehr OP werden.
Game number 3.
Verliert Big heute Abend, brenne ich außerdem den Laden ab. Nur kurz mal. Nur ein kurzer Heads-up. Kannst du auch auf YouTube streamen, zum Beispiel die Firma geblockt? Nee, mache ich nicht. Ich habe bisher immer nur Negatives rausgehört, wenn Tolly zum Beispiel drüber gesprochen hat. Also wird es nicht geben, sorry. TikTok wird es geben für 27 wahrscheinlich, 27 Competitive Season, dass man da halt dann Vertical noch hat, aber YouTube ist mir... Ich glaube, das Bild ist einfach zu sehr und das ist halt... Alter, es ergibt finanziell einfach keinen Sinn. Muss ich leider enttäuschen. Die Fackeln stehen bereit, my lord.
To monsters, and obviously you can spam that in the jungle since you have so much mana regen, and you can just pick it up as you're killing camps.
Yeah, King
didn't start this lane the way he wanted to.
Yeah.
And it is the
Ist TikTok immer noch so ein Ding zur Zeit? Ich meine, es schadet nicht, in Vertical-Format halt zu streamen, weißt du? Also gerade streame ich auch Vertical nebenbei noch. Und selbst wenn es nur 5 Leute oder 10 Leute sind, weißt du?
Like I look at the CC and the damage profile of Nongshim, and I look at Xante Olaf, one of which doesn't take very much damage typically, and one of which doesn't take any CC.
Yeah.
Ich habe bei englischen TikTok-Restreams immer schlecht gehört, wieso? Scheint Slur-Zensuur zu sein, kannst ja Chat ausmachen einfach. Kannst ja theoretisch Chat ausmachen.
But if it's even, I think BNK should be winning.
Nongshim are winning, then they're winning. Wow.
Oh, nice smite here from Sponge.
Yeah, good steal away. Raptor getting
das ist ein Problem.
Which, you know, is beneficial to your clear speed, but not very beneficial in terms of fighting Sponge. And actually, notably, so Raptor went 2 points Q, 1 point E.
Ist YouTube dann nicht einfach Free Money? Was ist das Problem da? Du machst oft, also Twitch macht, also ich weiß gar nicht, ob du auf mit YouTube Livestreams, weiß ich nicht. Also ich vermute mal, Viewer-Split ist auch schlecht. Right, weil die Idee ist, okay, du hast eine bestimmte Anzahl an Viewern auf Twitch und ab einer bestimmten Anzahl an Viewern auf Twitch bekommst du immer mehr, weil du halt weil du halt immer weiter oben stehst und so weiter. Und das ist halt also in der Theorie einfach Snowball-Effekt. Gestern zum Beispiel, hast du ja gesehen, da war ich bei 1,6k Viewern oder 1,7k oder sowas im letzten Game von Spandau. Snowballt halt sehr. Die Darstellung am Handy ist auch neu. Super aufgeräumt, ja, danke. Ist von mir. Also ich hab's selber gemacht. Also einfach kopiert quasi, was wie Riot das macht bei Internationals. Und das ist quasi die TikTok-Ansicht. Sagt nicht unbedingt, dass sie überschreiben, ich weiß es nicht, aber Kingmaker-Effekt noch nie gehört. Aber er ist ja einfach Rich Get Richer, oder nicht? Auf einem Basislevel. Rich Get Richer. Das von dir, ja. Und ich kann mir halt gut vorstellen, dass Twitch und TikTok sich null überschneiden. Königsmark kennen wir noch.
It's just really obvious, right?
Yeah, no, it is.
No. It's.
Wer mir, also.
I said it because that's the only time.
Dare I say, I'm gonna go a step further. When B&K FearX are ahead, they're ahead. It's just one of these.
I said
it's
they're
just one
winning.
It's just one of these
by the
intrinsic truths. Oh, when B&K FearX are winning, they're winning. Wow.
Ich habe Stronghold nie Stronghold gespielt tatsächlich.
What I mean to say is,
you know what? It cannot be disputed. I think it can. I don't think you need to add to it, Brendan.
the most important part of this was that in an even game state, B&K FearX should be winning. And so Nongshim have to get ahead, otherwise I don't think they're going to.
Interessant ist, wir haben kein PTA auf Asia, ne? Wir haben Commercial dessen.
Wow.
Right?
This is
that's kind of that's what it all came, you know.
If you want,
summed together in one big.
To be honest, ich könnte auch jetzt schon anfangen auf TikTok zu streamen. Es ergibt eigentlich keinen Sinn, das nicht zu machen. Okay. Ich richte das, weil ich hab ja auch dieses scheiß Multistream-Ding. Dass auch ordentlich Arbeit kommen kann, wenn du regelmäßig reporten dadurch gebannt wirst. Warte, wurde Tanja schon gebannt oder was? Wurde Tanja schon auf TikTok gebannt oder wie? Mehrfach.
I mean, Raptor's right here, and that is Ash, and Lahen's
Immer wieder.
down in an awkward spot, but
TikTok wirst du so schnell, aber für was? Also es ist einfach Mass-Reporten? Weil irgendein Dude sich über der Sprache beschwert. Ja, okay, aber ich bin ja ein netter Typ.
like you can jump over big things. Is what I mean.
Wir können es ja probieren bis zum ersten TikTok-Bann. Und dann ist mir zu viel Arbeit, dann unbannen wir einmal und dann reicht's. Es ist immer so, bis ab wann ist es mir zu viel Arbeit?
Diablo going for the teleport actually. So not the most combat power in lane. Just trying to weather the storm and survive and look for that kill pressure later.
Einmal blauer Kasten halt direkt Bann zum Beispiel. Das erst wenn wir auch nein, das müsste gehen, weil ich habe ja bei Tolly zum Beispiel simultan gestreamt. Right, und da ging es auch. Aber ja, ich werd's schauen. Und mit dem Multistream-Ding kann man das auch easy wieder ausmachen, direkt. Flaggen ist sehr OP. Na gut, für BFX. Oh. Ha.
And there's the knockback from the Cassante. Nicely done from him. And B&K FearX eventually get the win.
Hat Tolly schon was zur LEC gesagt dieses Wochenende? In seinem Stream? Ich frage einfach mal. Ich frage einfach mal so nett.
Okay. They're just trying to come in here and do the Drake with B&K FearX maybe. I don't have any other explanation.
They're so low.
They do get away.
Barely. Barely. A dangerous game to be playing. And I think we saw some of the lacking DPS in that previous fight from Nongshim. So this one was very aggressive. Raptor's still level 5. You're not immune to CC, but just a bit too tanky for them to cut through. And Sponge takes so much damage after diving in on this Olaf. Then the TPs come in, suddenly B&K FearX realize it might not be such an easy path outward. But it's the moment here, Kingen is ready to go for a kill onto Raptor. And imagine, look how low Raptor gets thanks to the Syndra, thanks to Scout.
Es war ein sehr komischer Fight, aber man sieht, glaube ich, wie schwer es für Nongshim auch später wird.
And allowing Raptor to escape from that play. 2 kills to 0 and a 1,000 gold lead. And that Fierce Dragon secured. Pretty good start for BNK4X. And I actually heard this really insightful bit of knowledge earlier. If BNK4X are in a winning game state, then they're winning.
They are, yeah.
So,
and even if it were even, I would say that they're winning as well. Yeah.
That's just,
yeah,
that's great.
Great stuff. All the hard-hitting facts. We do have Sponge doing the thing where they lose the fight, and he's like, well, okay, I'm just going to go take the objectives while the enemy jungle is not really on the map. Now, Raptor is on the map, but he's just full clearing, so just doing Olaf things instead.
Yeah, and level
9:1 ist von gestern. Ich bin sehr enttäuscht von Spandau. Aber, also, sie haben quasi genau das gezeigt, was wir die letzten Wochen schon immer wieder kritisiert haben, richtig? Unfassbar dummes Decision-Making. Keine Selbstkontrolle, nehmen Fights, die sie nicht fighten sollen, haben Comms, die sehr spielbar sind, aber sie machen die Comms unspielbar mit ihren dummen Entscheidungen und ja, dann werden sie halt gepunished. Ich denke, dass Kaufland honestly gestern nicht schlecht gespielt hat. Ich glaube, die haben honestly gestern nicht schlecht gespielt, also ich würde das nicht nur auf den Downfall von Spandau legen jetzt in dem Fall. Was machst du, Raptor? Mitbekommen, was er noch gesagt hat? Nee, was hat er gesagt?
I didn't want this blue buff anyway.
This is where blue buff goes. We're putting it back in that spot and then they just...
Das vermutlich raus wegen Ausbildung und so. I mean, es ergibt viel Sinn, nicht Fulltime ERL zu spielen, aber nicht nebenbei zu spielen, finde ich ein bisschen quatschig. Wenn es die Zeit irgendwie hergibt. Ist mein Take. Ich finde, Fulltime ERL spielen ist... Natürlich, das ist eine Passion, I get it. Aber meine ehrliche Antwort ist immer, nicht machen. Und wenn dann nebenbei machen. Funktioniert ja auch. Wenn es klappt, nebenbei machen, dann will er es auch machen. Okay, ja, easy. Ja, dann ist ja easy. Ja, dann also von meiner Perspektive aus, richtige Entscheidung auf Cross. Darauf wir steigen für die 75er Streak.
He would watch it on the treadmill. He would just watch Korean SpongeBob. His name is Sponge Song, actually.
Oh.
In Korea.
Good to know.
Not Bob.
Okay. Nongshim trying to push in here aggressively.
Das heißt vom neuen Kidui-Team nichts, weil die schon in der Offseason sind. Scheißegal. Hallo Lukas. Beim Kaufland oder so soll es ja gehen. Ja, die Frage ist, was macht Spawner nächstes Jahr, ne? Keine Ahnung.
First item come in for Taeyun here. It's a minute till that dragon. The fact that BNK4X already have that fierce one makes it pretty high prio to contest it, but already Hextech and Mountain taken off the cards. I think Mountain would have been absolutely insane for BNK4X, but honestly, a Chemtech would go crazy here.
Yeah.
And I'm normally the one responsible for them, so.
And hopefully they actually get the Chemtech soul, or at least deny it, unlike some other teams
who just refuse to kill dragons. I get it.
They're like, you can have the Chemtech soul, it's fine. We don't care.
A lot of pressure here, and unless you're able to engage, this bot lane 2v2 is a kill lane for Diablo Lahens. It's like you have the burst, but if you're not able to find that window, you're kind of just subject to
Einfach dringend laufen wir erstmal aus, genau.
From Taeyun and Kellen.
Yeah. And so Lahen says, you know what, never mind, I'm just going to go mid. And I do not care. King goes back in. I mean, you know, remember King thought...
Ja, ist jetzt, also, keine Ahnung. Kommt drauf an, ist immer eine Budgetfrage, natürlich.
You know, the flex in the draft.
Also...
So it's not fun.
Ja, keine Ahnung.
Like, this is absolutely clear. It's like, yeah.
Lille ist vielleicht auch aus, er meinte im Host, dass er ein Fulltime-Team haben will und das Roster stimmen muss, also kein Rookies wie bei Talk. I mean, ja, natürlich, also... Ergibt voll Sinn, oder nicht? Wenn du Fulltime spielen willst, dann musst du auch ein Team halt haben, das dieselben Ambitionen hat. Und für Fulltime musst du halt auch jetzt mehr als 3 Erbsen verdienen im Monat.
Maybe even if he had cleanse, I think he's dead as well. Nice setup here from BNK4X.
I think if he has cleanse, he can get out of that one. There's this neat trick where you press the cleanse and it removes the CC.
Boah, zum Beispiel noch gelegen ist einfach. nicht gut genug und haben ihre Probleme nicht aufgearbeitet gefühlt. So, sind nicht besser geworden.
Cleanse would have been better than teleport in that.
Oh, they're going for Raptor here.
Yeah, they're trying to get the Ragnarok out. He just turns on to Sponge and immediately dies.
Jesus.
The burst of Scout, and
Jesus.
now we got a player out of position.
Wait, there's a
Kellen
TP
is
value.
dead. And yeah, he TP's in and he gets his revenge.
The death, meaningless when you can just reappear there. And Dragon going to be secured here by Nongshim. BNK Fearex had teleport on both their solo laners. I mean, Vikla didn't need a teleport, he's just there, but they're not really in a position with that health bar to come down. And Nongshim...
3k netto oder was reden wir vom Fulltimer? Keine Ahnung, Bruder, was weiß ich. 3k netto bekommst du nirgends.
Enough beers to cut through. This one was, I mean, Taeun moves a little bit out the way, fires the arrow. You know, looking at the map...
Ich bin raus, die Season. Ja, ist vorbei.
Regardless, I agree with you. Here, though, play goes in, and Raptor starts doing so much damage to Sponge, and then Scout clicks the no fun button.
Ja, das Problem ist, dieser Jungle Olaf, der wird natürlich nicht dieselbe Anzahl an EXP haben, richtig? Wie ein Toplane Olaf es hat. Das heißt, dieser Syndra One-Shot wird höchstwahrscheinlich kein Einzelfall sein.
Bot lane's still very far ahead. Taeun has 1500 gold. Let's see about Vikla though. As the Mega Cone engaged.
Das ist eigentlich ein ganz geiler von Vikla, ne?
Dive here onto the Azir. Arrow is going to hit Lehens. As Kellen's like,
Eigentlich ein sehr, sehr geiler Cleanse sogar. Entschuldigung, ein geiler von Asia. Gibt's einen Primary Cup wie die anderen Jahre?
Wait, I've just thought about. You know how
Stimmt, warte mal. Den gab's dieses Jahr gar nicht. Wait.
When you teleport in with like the
Oder?
shield.
Stimmt. Nee, den gab's dieses Jahr gar nicht, lol. Also ich gehe mal davon aus, dass es keinen Weg geben wird, ne?
It's probably pretty large.
Yeah. Well, this one, Vikla unable, tries to go for the dash.
Flash Lands, I mean, maybe kann da
Then
rauskommen.
this arrow from downtown. The CC layered by Kellen at the last second, then stunned by Clear. Not a lot you can do. I think I should have just held the flash, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And speaking of shields, I think a Serpent's Fang would be very high value this game. Very high value.
Yeah.
And you even have a lethality champ. You have technically two. We've seen more for sort of Bruiser Neferi, but both Neferi and Varus could go Serpent's Fang here and get good value out of that.
Yeah.
Das Ecosystem, das die Vorsehe erst im nächsten Jahr wieder spielen.
Definitely.
Ja, aber im Normalfall hatten wir halt diesen PM Cup noch, ne? Keine Ahnung. Weiß nicht, ob die noch was machen.
And it's Chemtech Soul. So we're gonna have a lot of Chemtech Drakes.
It is Chemtech Soul. I just, yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So somebody is going to build that item. Otherwise,
Ist ja für LCK-Teams dasselbe, ne?
have a problem here.
Not sure.
I think that's the thing.
Ist ja Geld davon extra, aber ich habe keine Ahnung.
I don't think
Ich habe keine Ahnung.
adds that much value, but the value for BNK Fearex is absurd. So it's a really unbalanced position. Normally you have strong dragons. Oh, they might be in trouble.
Oh wow, Diablo ist tot.
He's just
Oh,
gonna
er muss flashen.
all over Diablo, who's like, I really didn't want to flash here. As that is a nice scatter though, and the only
Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott.
and he does eventually die, but worth.
That's painful. That's painful. And I don't just mean that passage of play. I mean playing Lethality Varus into Cassante. It's not a fun time. And Clear demonstrating that.
Ja, ich weiß nicht, wie du es fixst, ne? Weil willst du wirklich noch einen vierten Split in der Premier League haben? Oder allgemein? Würde ich jetzt eher mal Nein sagen.
By himself and he dies.
Vielleicht gibt's, also, dann wäre es halt so ein Turnier-Circuit, wäre halt ganz nice, ne?
Into BNK Fearex, but
So, also, das ist halt die Antwort auf alles ist halt, ja, ein Turnier-Circuit wie bei CS wäre halt geil, ne?
compared to like a
ist halt wirklich die Lösung für alles gefühlt so. Wenn du dir eine Frage stellst, ja, was könnte man hier mal? Ah ja, Turniere.
Well, eventually he'll have more items.
That was kind of building the tension of
Yeah.
the recall, but also showing off carrier skin. So, 2 for 1.
Worth. They're trying to
I
do
think
something
players
here.
come to the conclusion that he's just incredibly hard to kill. And okay, the point I was making before Clear killed Diablo was there's this imbalance here where the soul is phenomenal for one team and kind of whatever for the other. Normally it's like a soul is great for both or kind of whatever for both. So it means that BNK Fearex starts stacking dragons, it's really bad for Nongshim. But if the opposite happens, I don't think BNK Fearex are too upset.
Das war ein Spielerteam ist, weil die Jungs ja immer noch Vertrag oder Scrim noch besser Vertrag aus ist? Nein, also es gibt Teams, die dann halt darauf bestehen, dass du noch für dein Geld scrimmst, aber macht ja nichts. Bringt ja nichts.
Gets collapsed on.
Yeah, that one though.
And he just flashes on him, ults
Parasol,
him.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing he says when he sees him is, I'm going for this.
Yeah, and Devil starts winding up the queue. I think he could have just left. Like, Syndra's
Parasol
there,
will put
Nautilus
it-
there.
So was Ding ist, I mean, ja.
15 seconds on that dragon. It's BNK Fearx with control of the area.
Weiß nicht.
I think it's difficult to see how they approach this fight if they don't get access to the backline.
Wenn haben sie jetzt einfach die EALs in Valo getötet und dürfen sie alle übertöten. Ja, aber das ist ja auch einfach besser. Right. Wenn du Third-Party-Organizer sowas machen lässt, das ergibt halt einfach Sinn.
Scout in here. That's a
Right.
big grab.
They're gonna get him, actually.
So fucking nasty, dass er da nach vorne läuft und sich hucken lässt, so dumm.
As long as it's not onto the Olaf, feeling pretty good. As now they're just gonna turn onto Vikla, who just sweeps him in, but he dies immediately. And now we've got only the Kazante Sponge looking for more. He will take down Raptor. This Nefiri is going ham, and now Clear alone.
Nasty Gameplay.
He will be killable in that sense. As now the flash comes in, and Tanu's just gonna blast going away.
Oh, keep running!
No! He can actually flash for that, but...
Ultra nasty, nasty, nasty von Taeyeon und... Ah ne, beide hätten den Hochflash müssen wir jetzt.
And it
Unser Fang
all
gewesen.
came from Lahen's grabbing Kellen. We don't get any value from the Seraphine here, a champion that
Ja.
does so well for this comp, and it's because Taeyeon flashes away.
Ja, den verkauft wird. Er kann nicht flashen, to be fair.
Ends up going down, no encore, no healing and shielding for everyone. Kingen TP's in with a massive shield, and this ult from Vikla doesn't really drastically help. Kind of just allows him to chase down Raptor. Taeyeon's making this long path around, try and assist and get Sponge. Sponge is already disengaged. This is a great fight from Nongshim.
Yeah, it really was. And,
Nee, also,
I mean, if no
Scrim machst du nur, wenn deine Orga dich dazu forst.
a big scatter, just like that on
Das große Problem ist immer Sponsor so finden, auch für Third Party ist natürlich, also das ist halt, wer organisiert, okay, was sponsort in CS die Turniere? Ja, Alkohol und Betting, ne? Ist halt so, ja.
The Nautilus, and that disrespect cost them the fight, cost them the dragon.
So.
And you can see Nongshim now applying this pressure down the bot lane. They had Scout lead over as well. We'll just pick up this tower for Kingen.
And remember, they have Mikhails. I mean, Raptor's just gonna pull the trigger here on a Diablo.
Wow, eingeflasht Ulti war sexy as fuck.
And now
Oh, und das ist Fuck von Longshim, lol.
he's gonna go down. Fearx immediately gonna turn this fight around as Lahens goes down under the turret. They're gonna take the turret here themselves, and BNK catapults into the lead.
Ich vermisse auch einen, wie gesagt, also, es ist halt so, ne?
When you don't catch the enemy backline and Olaf just charges onto your carries and dispatches them pretty comfortably.
ESL hat halt einen Saudi-Staat im Rücken, die haben die Kohle. Ja, aber die IEM-Turniere zum Beispiel, die sind auch von mehreren Sachen noch gesponsert, von DL und so weiter. IEM-Sponsors.
I think Clear is enjoying himself.
Die haben, okay, die haben Predator, DHL, sowie Checks und dann Faceit. Faceit ist sowieso gekauft von Ding, von ESL und so. Und dann haben die halt auch noch Milliarden im Hintergrund. Natürlich.
But even after that, he's still only equal.
Wollen wir eine Casino-verseuchte Pro-Szene?
The Ash Arrow comes in and it forces Lahens to walk back a bit, but it then grabs the Olaf and the Olaf just says, whatever.
Ich glaube nicht, dass es anders geht. Optimale Welt? Oh, natürlich nicht, aber es wird nicht, ich glaube nicht, dass es ohne funktioniert.
And then even the ult from Scout just doesn't do much damage because of the shielding from the Seraphine. This is the difference. How much impact this Seraphine actually has
Well, und sie haben Nash.
is night and day in these fights.
So, Taeyeon braucht Flash up und dann ist wieder playable.
To go for the fight there, because there was no flash on Diablo nor Lahens, so it's really just easy pickings, especially when there's, you know,
Ist ja schon mit den Teamsponsoren in der LEC, ja.
if you catch the both of them, you know, you can only use it on one. The guy dies anyway.
Was sie gegen Clear machen? Ja, nicht viel. Mal sehen, ich glaube, das ist eher so eine Backup. Ich hab so Muskelkater überall. Oh mein Gott, wie ist das möglich?
With the Olaf
Hilfe, ey.
frontline. So now a very early Baron in this game was picked up basically on spawn after that fight.
Yeah.
Den Casino-Sprung gar nicht so schlimm. Es ist ja auch nicht, also es ist schlimm, aber ich weiß nicht, weil ich kann da nie aus eurer E-Sport-Sicht mitreden, weil ich halt Fußball schaue, ich schaue Formel 1, es ist alles voll damit, wisst ihr, es ist... Ich bin aufgewachsen mit fett Marlboro auf dem Ferrari-Auto, wisst ihr? Das ist so, also für mich ist es ganz anders. Ich habe da eine ganz andere Sichtweise, einfach nur, weil ich halt, ja.
see a TP mid from Scout to try and help defend, but this tower is long gone.
Yeah. You see Diablo's like hitting piercing arrows onto the Olaf, who already has a shield. And he's just not really doing anything.
Ja, Darts ist komplett voll natürlich. Darts hast du 400 Werbung und...
There's no rush here.
Bruder, schaut euch einmal einfach nur The Zone Werbeblock an. The Zone ist der absolute Endgegner. Da hast du 10 Minuten, nur Werbungen. Und wenn sie keine bezahlte Werbung haben, dann kommt da einfach nur The Zone Werbung. Da wird nicht irgendwie was übertragen. Es war da steht einfach nur The Zone Werbung. Und ja, also, wenn wir jetzt mal überlegen, wie viele Leute schon wetten, also es macht's nicht, nein, okay, nee, jetzt fangen wir nicht an, weil es offensichtlich immer noch alles schlechter macht. Aber es ist nicht so, als ob keine Wettsponsoren Leute vom Wetten abhalten, sagen wir es einfach mal so. So. Es wird natürlich noch mal viel schlimmer, vollkommen agreed, aber momentan hält die Leute auch, also wenn wir die Anzahl an Leuten, die gerade E-Sport wetten, sehen, ist, ja.
Top laners have TP, they don't need to be here right now.
Yeah, this Baron just amounts to about 900 gold, the Baron power play.
Ja, und dann dieses scheiß Wichser mit Polymarket und so, ja, ja.
Many objectives off of the back of that. And it's really all about the setup here for the Dragon. I feel like
Kingen bought a large... I guess he didn't have the money for the Seekers, that's really unfortunate. You'd have loved to have picked that up here.
It's a little awkward.
Ich glaube, Leute erwarten einfach immer, dass das alles umsonst ist. Wie beispielsweise E-Sport schön. Dass alles nur umsonst ist, aber wenn dann Sachen broke gehen, dann ist halt so, hä?
Onto the B&K lineup as Kingen flashes in. He's in front of 4 people and is in a lot of trouble.
Geiler, langsamer Teamfight von BFX, to be honest.
Went way too hard in that fight.
Und sie haben ein Riesenproblem mit diesem Cassante.
Raptor still has ult.
Yeah, he's kind of on the opposite side of this fight. Unfortunately for him, Sponge just hopped.
Darum, dass keine jungen Kids-Teens damit gegroomt werden von Wettanbietern, aber die E-Sport-Szene hat eben keine jungen Kids/Teens on average.
He was pretty low, so that makes sense.
Und okay, und kannst du dich, also das ist natürlich wieder, es ist super, ne, Whataboutism. Aber die Anzahl an Kindern und Teenagern, die durch Fußball in Wettsucht getrieben sind, ist halt also exponentiell höher. Also exponentiell höher, right? Auch das ist jetzt wieder, es ist wieder, meine Meinung allgemein, ich check's vollkommen. Aber ich glaube, Fußball ist da halt, ne? Da also Fußball ist da so viel schlimmer als E-Sports. Es wäre. Macht es in keinster Weise besser, ist es auch nicht. Es ist totaler Whataboutism. Das ist auch im E-Sport schlimm. Ich meine, die Zielgruppe ist halt ein X-faches höher. Aber ja, es ist alles scheiße, aber ja. Heißt nicht, dass wir es irgendwo normalisiert haben? Okay, und wie soll es finanziert? Ich frage dich, hast du eine bessere Lösung, wie es finanziert wird? Gäbe es eine andere Lösung? Ey. Ich sehe nicht, wie es finanziert wird, wie es finanziert werden kann. Die einzige Möglichkeit, die ich habe, ist PPV, ja, und es kauft keinen Schwanz. Das wird dann keinen Schwanz kaufen. Paywall von den Games, ja, dann kauft es keinen Schwanz.
Sponge now doesn't have flash, and he can jump up into the sky, but there are a lot of ways to chase. Arrows going to hit Lehens in the base.
I'm going to defend Kellen here. You see something fly out of brush when there's a Syndra, a Varus, and a Nautilus on the other team. I'd be flashing too.
But he got hit by it.
Nennt mir eine andere Lösung, ey. Dieser Mann. Aber es wird entweder wird es auf Krypto oder es wird auf Gambling oder Alkohol hinauslaufen. Sticker auf Steroids etc. wird es für ERL-Teams niemals geben. Glaube ich nicht dran, dass es die jemals juckt. Was hat Wickler da gerade gemacht? Staatlich finanzieren, weil wir es als kulturell relevant ansehen. Okay. Irgendwas Realistisches. So, also. Ain't happening.
They also haven't picked up the Serpent Spine yet. And Kingen still doesn't have a Seeker's Arm Guard.
Scout's going to bring the red buff to the blue buff.
Double buffing.
Purple buff.
Okay. The Baron and the Dragon are perfectly lined up. Like the duration.
Können wir über das Game reden? Klar.
Time for the next Dragon. So BNK
Sie haben Flash bekommen, sie haben bald wieder Flash auf Taeyun ab. Also Fights sind sehr schwer zu verlieren. Wie können sie Fights verlieren?
I think the Baron's slightly faster.
Gutes CC-Layering. Ich meine, du hast kein Cleanse bei, Entschuldigung, kein Mikaels bei Kellen. Das bedeutet eine Ulti auf irgendwen, der nicht Taeyun ist mit seinem Cleanse. Und du kannst einen Pick finden. Aber nur mal, das ist das Realistische.
But a lot of that's gonna fade. In the meantime, though, just be cautious about being engaged on.
Speaking of which.
Wow, oder du engage auf das Cleanse-Target und bekommst ihn. Okay, funktioniert auch. Ich hab gelogen.
Clear also TP'd into this one, so now they're gonna look for the Cassante.
Raptor from behind und schaut auf Wickler. Schaut auf Wickler jetzt.
Double knockup comes in as they're
Okay, aber wisst ihr, diese Azir-Spieler, sie müssen sofort aufhören, dafür zu gehen. Ich schwöre, es ergibt keinen Sinn. Warum muss er dafür den Shuffle gehen? Die können einfach Front-to-Back spielen, First Target. Und sie können nicht verlieren, es geht nicht. Clear ist zu OP. Aber der Azir muss sofort aufhören, die ganze Zeit dafür zu gehen.
They're not even trying at this point. They know they can't. They don't even.
But at least Diablo has Edge of Night, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Azir-Winrate, ich call's jetzt 3% höher, wenn die Leute aufhören würden, für unsinnige Shuffle-Plays zu gehen.
Okay, able to disengage.
Okay.
Okay, oh, my eye is playing tricks with me. I see Diablo hitting him, but I do not see the health bar moving at all. So this is kind of on me. I said don't get engaged on, but I said it a little late.
Ja, checke Johann. E-Sports-Fans sind einfach
And I think this is showing though the issue is that it's kind of got to the point where even with Taeyun,
sehr
teleports in and it's just so bulky. They do get through the shield. No Serpent.
privilegiert.
He does this double flip.
Ist ein cooler Clip, wenn es funktioniert, aber es ergibt keinen Sinn dafür. Also, es ist wirklich dieses, also ich check, dass es nur Sarkasmus ist, ja, right, aber es ist einfach dieses Auto-Attack einfach. Auto-Attack einfach und benutzt deine Spells mit ein bisschen Brain. Dino und danke für den 7. Going strong in Richtung 1, ja, aha.
And then he like lines up the big piercing arrow and Clear just makes a shield. And the arrow doesn't even break the shield. Like, the virus is doing negative, like,
you know, I've never
Wie läuft der Monat bisher? Erzähl mal. Lief relativ aus gegen Olaf Cassandra, so impossible ist es. Da muss der Damage auf jeden Fall, also Cassandra ist das große Problem. Ich glaube, der Olaf ist weniger ein Problem. Kann weniger ein Problem sein, weil Nafiri und Syndra auf den draufgehen werden. Und ich glaube, da macht der Varus noch decent Damage, aber der Cassandra ist ein Riesenproblem, ja.
Scout did just pick up the Crypt Balloon. Okay, there is the last Whisper, but sorely need DPS, and I just don't see. You know, we've actually seen a lot of Syndras going Blackfire Torch, and this was not one of those instances.
Scout made him a Jais instead.
Yeah,
he knew that he had
went for the Ludens, you know, went for the Ludens for the
yeah.
Okay, die Cassandra mit 6 Items, erst noch Nafiri.
Yeah, two big ults used, and Kingen just disengages.
Also Scout, wenn du ihm eine lange Zeit gibst, denke ich. Hat Double Pen, hat Triple Pen sogar.
I mean, already 2 Chemtech Drakes is like.
Vielleicht ultet Clear sehr früh, kann dann eine volle Combo von der Syndra abbekommen mit der Ulti und den Execute kickt rein. Ansonsten, ja, I don't know. Nafiri am ehesten noch, ja.
Yeah.
At the end of this one.
You know, we had a lot of time where Cassante was meta in the LCK. Nice to see.
Also, wenn es nicht so gut ging, dann ist es sehr gut. Top. Das freut mich.
I do think Nongshim have kind of helped them out. I think our analysts on the space are feasting today because there's so much to go over in all of these drafts. I feel like every single game has had easy breakdowns.
Just to interject, I just want to look at the
damage. No. Yeah, that's a good interjection.
That is vile. That is disgusting.
That is disgusting.
Level 16 auf Scout jetzt.
Oh no, don't!
We need to have his reaction.
D-Boss are playing so well right now. Do not tilt them by showing them this game.
He needs to know.
Ich würde sagen, man kann sagen Massephase. Der Dirty Bulk.
Very unkillable as well.
I feel like
so smart.
Good items, you know, his health drops, but he's Olaf, so it's like, is he really in trouble? But I just don't even see Clear's health bar move.
Yeah. You can see Nongshim's reaction. I feel like they've realized the situation they're in, and what they're going to do is just try to not team fight.
So, Diablo, normally we see the Serelda's Grudge come out for the Fatality Champions. He went Mortal Reminder. He's trying to remind Clear that he's mortal. I don't think he is. I don't think Clear is mortal. I think you're not going to be able to remind him of that fact. The heal reduction, a good amount of value here. I'm still missing the Serpent's Fang. Do I think that would suddenly make Nongshim? No, but at least the shields would be a bit smaller.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm coping or not. I still.
Warte, wow.
Okay. It's not.
Was ist hier auf meinem Screen?
Like, because obviously the team fights look excited for a good reason.
I think if they hit Clear for enough time with all 5 members, you will.
Dann kauf doch LDA, du Fuck-Ass, und nicht Mortal Reminder auf Varus Poke.
On them finding backline access. That's the big thing. We saw Kalin get exploded before.
Kauf doch LDA, ach.
Dante was a lot less tanky then as well, though.
Also,
Also die haben sehr viel Healing. In diesem Fall, sie haben good amount of Healing. Aber actually brauchst du Serpents zuerst, oder nicht? Warum hat er keinen Serpents? Warte mal.
Clear hasn't spent a lot of time there, as he's just trying to 1v5 with the Seraphine, so fair enough. The arrow's gonna hit Lehens. I mean, he's kind of tanky.
Oder was Clear da macht. Na, aber ihr seht, also, gebt Sponge so 40 Sekunden, ne? Gebt ihm so 40 Sekunden und, ey.
Oh, and yes, Ludens interrupts the recall.
Yeah. Nongshim are just trying to keep them at arm's length. They're like, no, we don't want to team fight.
Gefällt mir auch von Nongshim eigentlich, dass die Kingen halt strikt sagen, okay, du bleibst Botlane.
Because in a minute and 15 seconds, it's Chemtech Soul.
Yeah. What if it were just like something else, you know?
Not Chemtech Soul?
Yeah.
Oh, Edge of Night procced by the Ash Arrows. Yep. Yeah. Not the most value there, I'm going to be honest.
Well, maybe next time it stops the Azir soldier.
He has Protoplasm. Brendan. Even if you get him low.
Yep.
Dann glaube ich dem Psyops, es ist kein Psyops, es ist so.
Change came in on that item. You talked about it a lot, how it scales now up to.
Mir gefällt auch bei Nongshim, dass sie bald raus sind. Das ist crazy.
So, but now it's at full power, you know?
Late, yeah, he's level 19. He's nearly level 20.
It's back to its original form.
Yeah. Dragon in 30 seconds.
Wenn BFX die Soul bekommen mit Seraphine, ist doch direkt GG, oder?
I'm sure a lot of these things scale past level 18.
Yeah.
So you actually get more value.
Es wird auf jeden Fall sehr, sehr schwer, Cassandra zu töten.
Well, I mean, back then it would also.
It would all, yeah, if it were built on a top laner, yeah.
Seine unethischen Wetten und kassieren verstehe, was spricht gegen Krypto. Ich glaube, es ist obvious one, ist, dass halt super volatil ist der Markt und reguliert immer ein bisschen schwierig, aber auch da, ich bin kein Krypto-Experte, right, dementsprechend keine Ahnung. Ja. Ansonsten, ey, sind bestimmt Leute tiefer drin im Krypto-Thema, keine Ahnung. Ja, guter Catch. Sind die schnell genug? Oh, die sind nicht schnell genug auch. Schaut auf Scout. Scout muss hier zaubern irgendwie. Oh, wow, warum geht Raptor da rein? Bist du doof? Raptor? Okay, er kriegt die Soul. Er kriegt die Soul. Und schaut auf Cleaner Backline. Und wird auch für Scam benutzt, ne? Also klar, Scam-Coins und so ein Scheiß gibt's ja zu Mass. Zwei Anrufe im Homeoffice, ich muss die Arbeit von jemandem nachbessern. Der im Urlaub ist, ich spring mich weg. So, und dann spring ich ihn weg. GG. Well, also, das war der most OP Cassandra ever.
I don't think it's possible for him to get low enough. They've hit critical mass. I think they might have done that before they got the Chemtech Soul, but they've gone over the line now. They're just going to push in. There's nothing you can do. Clear's getting healed as well.
Yep, no McHale's this time, and they're going to get the kill. As King goes in, he gets the flash out of Taeyun, I guess. They will easily spend that. Vic was like, here, have an Emperor's Divide too. I definitely did things in this game, as BNK FearX are going to take down the Nexus.
Bei Cast hatte PM immer noch eine Clean Feed. G2 gegen Big, G2 gegen Big mache ich Clean Feed. Tryhard Cost. Man geht nicht Mage Morello, es ist so bad. I mean, Oblivion Orb kann nicht schaden.
And they're like the only person in the game having fun, but everyone else is kind of laughing like, oh, look how goofy.
Auf Zoll auch hier von den Pflanzen, ja.
Wow, he's so large. Wow, he's so unkillable. This is how this felt, right? This was not okay. Clear did so much damage, was so unkillable. They couldn't answer him. But I think, unfortunately, Nongshim were the ones who were trapped in their fountain, like you have in the Aram Mayhem games, when the Tom Kenny's the size of the entire map. He's just bearing down on them.
The giant tongue is just hitting you over and over in the fountain.
Yeah, this had vibes of that. So
Alles über Draft, ja. Ich glaube, Clear war zu OP. Damage Taken von Clear würde ich gerne sehen. Bist du 99% nicht G2 gegen Big in Köln? Ich würde auch denken, ja.
And he did the most.
Was? Wow, er hat den meisten Damage gemacht.
Oh my god, yeah, it's not okay. It's really not okay.
Lol.
A brick wall.
I mean, they just didn't have an answer.
Lol.
Like, if they had any kind of hyper carry, I think there is still a world. It's going to still be difficult, sure, but if you have anything else that's not Poke Varus.
I mean, the thing is, they were all VSD champions. The most DPS they had was the Jax. You can't really just sit in the Kasante
and the Luden Syndra as well. It's almost like Nongsum were playing into the bit. It's like, dude, let's make this really funny. And it was for B&K Fear-X as they take the lead in the series 2-1.
So. Es ist der Matchpoint. Das wäre nicht. Das ist ein kleines Game 5 hier. Aber nicht verkehrt. Ich bin so der. Eine Sekunde.
잭스고 잭스 노플에 전혀 없어서 죽일 생각하다.
노틸 미카엘 없고 궁 있다.
내가 먹을게. 그럼 끝날 것 같긴 해. 더블 줄게 이거. 라프도 먹어라.
내가 먹을게.
잭스 들어오면 잭스 볼게. 아지르가 먹어.
나 궁도 있어.
야 노티 한번 볼게. 봐도 돼.
앞라인부터 쳐.
상대 탱해줘. 더블 4초.
막았다 해. 나 괜찮아.
나이스.
나이사. 다음 세트 가자.
나이스.
마치 영원처럼 기억할 수 있게 그래 기억처럼 영원할 수
So.
늙은 달력 사이 접어둔 우리의 밤 가만히
Und G6 danke für den 14. Danke. Wie steht es? 2-1 für BFX. Gutes Mike. Jim. Aua. ReZero-Folge war gestern außerdem Gesundheit, Dankeschön. Die ReZero-Folge war gestern außerdem wieder sehr gut. Kurzer Reminder, war super. Und Schock, vielen Dank für den 27.
Every sky is a line I've drawn. Cut by cut, mark by mark, mining.
In the stars.
BNK FearX fans are dancing because they're one win away from moving on to the next stage of the play-ins. It is 2-1 BNK FearX over Nongshim Red Force, and it was a lot to do with the bottom side of the map, a unique draft here, so let's get right into it, guys.
They got cooked on the draft. I feel like this is one of the clever draft plan by BNK FearX.
I mean, it's such a proactive, because they're already playing because it's the BO5, they're so open-minded that they're actually using these flags pick. Sure, Olaf is really, right now, is really strong. And then they actually did flags the Olaf to jungle and then pull out the K'Sante. I mean, first time when I thought of the K'Sante into Jax, didn't feel like it was a super giga counter. Because, the lane was actually 50-50. But I think the composition, based on they have an Enchanter support and they have an Ashe Harper carry and jungle Olaf, the composition is it required some tank position on top side, the K'Sante. So that's why I thought it was a really, really smart, especially with the Azir team competition.
Yeah, so here they have two different concepts, right? BNK FearX, they have a strong bot lane, and Nongshim, they pick the strong top side. But the issue is that, so you go on 4-5, you have to be okay in lane. So BNK FearX picked Azir, which was okay. I think Vigla did such a great job in the laning phase. He was not really that behind in CS. He did his job. But the issue begins with the bot lane.
Wer ist Favorit hier? Super 50-50, würde ich sagen. Ist immer nur ein Best of 5 am Tag? Yes. Playoffs sind meistens nur ein Best of 5. Wir werden einen LEC-Tag haben in den Playoffs. Wie steht es? Steht 2-1 für BFX. Wir werden einen Doppel-Best of 5-Tag bei der LEC haben in den Playoffs, weil die da auf der Roadshow sind. Aber ja.
With the kills, with the Goldie, with the CS, all of that. And it kind of ruins the draft plan that you had. If this was the pick that you had in Ashe Seraphine, it has to be able to survive. You can play from distance with Varus. If you play lethality, instead, they get punished.
Exactly. If you are just under turret with the Comet, Varus, and Nautilus, then your game must be something wrong, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at it. Early on, highlight number 1. It was a lot of action happening. It starts on the bottom side of the map, ends up pretty equal either way.
Ja, das ist noch keine Playoffs, korrekt. LEC haben wir dieses Wochenende, den letzten Regular Season Spieltag. die letzten Regular Season Spieltage.
They're using extra tempos here. I think they could have just do the one thing at the same time, because here they try to hit the turret and doing the Drake at the same time. But the issue is that Scout is having the mid priority. On top of that, even though Varus is dead, he has TP.
Yeah, I mean, Ash, if they really wanted to Drake, as soon as Varus died, Ash should just help him to Drake as soon as it's like Varus is dead there. And or if they want to get for, you know, it's okay to be Ash to get so fat, like we saw like 15 CSD, and also there was a 1 level gap differences. And
Confident Playoffs? Ja. Ja. Ja.
So that means they have so many skirmishes in the bot side. But it turned out they didn't do well in the mid-game team fight.
No, they didn't. Then here in the mid lane, keep your eyes on the Nautilus of Lehans.
Jax is hard stuck on bottom. And they're okay mid lane. It was really nice movement by the Lehans. It actually just, you know, juke the Ashe ulti there. And then they're okay. They're right now is like perfectly okay. This thing, the Constantes, he's top, pushed top, and came down to the mid because they really want to fight. But they're the one actually start the fight. Like it's not, you know, they actually try to disengage as much as they can, and then they recoup the Olaf that who has ulti. It's such a really...
Where is our Jax? Can you show bot? He's pushing bot. Yeah, of course. We knew that.
No TP.
Yes, no TP. We already had such a great disengage, as you said. They couldn't hit the Ashe ulti, so everything was perfect. It was
1:30, ja, sie müssen... Ja, es müsste reichen. Sie müssen eigentlich nur einmal gewinnen. Es ist nicht so deep. Come in.
Really in a worse situation.
It's nicht so deep.
Yeah, you just needed a Matador there to allow the Jax to continue to split push up. You absorb the pressure 5v4 in the mid lane under your mid lane tower. You're going to get a net positive play there. Instead, Lehens tries to go for the big play, pick the big fight, doesn't work out. That blasts the game open here for BNK Furex and into our final fight down on the bottom side of the map.
And now BNK Furex, they have Ashe Seraphine and Olaf, which means that they can just group as 5 and look for the fight. But initially, the fight didn't look that good here because they couldn't really one-shot any targets here. Vigla misses the ultimate, so BNK Furex, they are actually getting zoned by Nongshim here. So we thought they could just go for the Drake. I think they're in a really good position here.
They actually won.
Yes.
They got the control, they have the zone, and this is like, they crossed the in zone, which is like, look at how...
Promo-Cast, ey, Prep bei mir. Super. Ich schwöre, ich liebe die Produkte.
Jax actually, he just go inside, super dead.
Zuschlagen.
And it was really nice flash by the Taeyun. And it's like, it's so easy, you just right-click after that.
It was really great reaction play by Taeyun at that point. But again, Nongshim had the position. So they didn't need to hesitate here and just try to just do the Drake, do the objective, and then reposition themselves into objective. I think that could help them so much. But in this case, once again, I think Nongshim, they were like, you know, like desperate to take the fight, and when it was not necessary.
You know, it does feel like it is being on multiple different pages here multiple times in Highlight 2 and in the same in Highlight 3. And there is that feeling...
Elomato, du bist mir viel zu negativ, weil du das nämlich so einmal die Woche erwähnen musst.
Highlights showing they tried to fight when they didn't need to fight.
Exactly.
And so you don't want to go out at all, but Nongshim are out of losses to give. It is 2-1 BNK Furex. Winner will move on. Loser ends 2026. Will it be here? Let's find out together as we send it to game number 4.
Thank you very much, guys. As, yeah, pretty much breaking down all of the different angles that we saw in the draft and how it did play out. Nongshim not able to get enough of a snowball rolling. As I said, you know, if they were winning, they were winning. But that wasn't winning for Nongshim. So BNK Furex looking very good with their little mix-up in the draft from game number 2, or 3 rather, as a lot of fans hoping that their team will be the one that plays against Bro tomorrow, but there can only be one. And right now it looks better for BNK Furex.
That makes sense because they're up in the series.
Yes.
Yeah, I think ultimately that last game, there was a lot of pressure for Nongshim to make things happen, and that pressure did kind of just get to them, and I think they just overplayed their hands a few times. A hard game. I think there's some drafts where I think, you know, it doesn't help, but it's not the end of the world. It's going to come down to gameplay as well.
So, Abfahrt.
That one felt like a bit very difficult to overcome. So hopefully Nongshim going to be able to approach this next game.
Ist was Scrapes nur? Draftabhängig. Wie immer. In solchen, also vor allem in solchen knappen Series wie der hier. Super, super
would be the team
knappe Series.
when the series goes late and a lot of these picks are taken away by Fearless, that they might be able to dig a little bit deeper into their champion pools with some of the
Nur noch 1 Subfeld bis zum Subgold, das stimmt auch.
nature of some of these
Es fehlt tatsächlich nur noch 1 Sub bis zum Subgold. Das wäre huge News.
That last one was definitely a B&K draft win. So far it's been up their alley, actually, as we are going to see Maokai.
Seen some Maokai bands start to come in.
Let's go! Wer auch immer du bist, sofort refillen. Das ist noch schon mal in Game 2 gut dabei, haben keine Möglichkeit gehabt, den Christian zu töten. Kommt was zu OP von BFX.
Just a rise with Syndra gone as well. There's no way you leave it open. And that's like you're really trying to play Anivia into it.
Kein Primer frei. Ja, dann musst du refreshen, weil ich weiß nicht, wie viel Monat.
Nongshim, I see no way they don't pick up the rise here unless they sense a trap and they want to avoid it.
Also wollen ja nie wieder reinspielen, ja, BFX.
And B&K FX surely have a plan here.
I don't see a good reason to give Scout Rise for free. I mean, yeah, they might have a plan, as you're saying. They have to have a plan, otherwise we're going to...
Lista, Renata, Sayara, kann ist da noch offen, aber finde ich das Matchup so geil? Nope, I don't.
But they don't. Let's see if they do.
Aha, danke fürs halbe Jahr. Guck mal.
You know, in terms of bot lane duos that are still available,
Appreciate it.
The stronger ones that we have, other picks, maybe like MF. I mean, we're certainly digging deep into the 80 carry champion pool.
There's still like Corki available.
Yeah, Corki.
But they're not going to pick up the bot lane now. They're going to risk going later. And they're going to go for the Wukong here for Sponge, it seems. And likely going to get a top lane pick as well. I would think normally you're picking top side on these three. And the Gwen just gets slammed. So now B&K FX in an awkward position. Do you want to secure a jungler now before they get thinned out more? Or are you going to try and answer one of these solo lanes? And remember, you can only answer one. If you were going for that Anivia pick into the Rise, it's now or never. And that does mean this Gwen doesn't really get answered. They're not going to go for either. They're going to go for the Xin Zhao. Works well when you have an Enchanter.
Okay, also man muss jemand die Gwen Last Pick oder Gwen Blind Pick erklären.
What's the point we're at in the series, but that means they haven't answered top. And the thing is, one of the picks that was really good into Gwen in the past was Jax.
Das brauche ich erklärt.
That's already been taken away. You sometimes see Ambassador do well.
PPV heißt Pay-Per-View.
Remember, Gwen got buffed recently to have.
Du zahlst quasi, um was anschauen zu können.
I mean, Jace was also. Rumble. A lot of these picks have been taken out with good answers.
Ja, Hubris Collector, ich glaube in Solo ist es der Hubris Bild für Graves.
A lot of them are gone.
Yeah, I think honestly, Kennen's a good ban. Akali used to be that OG Gwen counter, and it kind of hits both lanes at once if you want to go for that. Are you concerned about the Anivia though? That is a question. Do you think that's going to be...
Gwen Blind? Ja, ich check's auch nicht so ganz. Ban Kennen raus, ja. Zara kann Amphias raus. Oh. Lulu ist auch. Was zur Hölle spielen die jetzt auf Botlane? Mage sehe ich nicht bei Diablo. Jhin ist schon raus. Sivir? Aber Sivir gegen Kalista ist so fucking bad. Corki? Corki, oder?
Nope. Just gonna be Annie.
Ah, Nafs, ne? Und hallo Random. Es wird Corki, oder?
We know he can play other stuff. Certainly one of the more meta mid laners that's left in this point of the Fearless draft, though.
You know what you're dealing with in both solo lanes, so kind of depends if your pick hinges
Kein Draven,
the entire composition. But you know your lane matchup already. I think it'd be cool if they went for the Akali, but looks like first off they're going for the clear.
Ja, ich weiß nicht, was mir da nie wieder passiert ist. Warum die auf einmal alle angefangen haben, den Champion zu hassen. Ich verstehe es nicht.
Ryze has so much power and is so insane when he gets to that late game point. We just saw a game where I felt like one team hit critical mass.
Corki?
Nongshim are looking like they will have that critical mass. Bot lane though, Sivir not a good match.
Picken Sivir rein.
Sivir Nico.
Ja, weiß ich nicht.
The choice here, so it's very difficult to ban out all the 80 carries. There are so many choices. But yeah, you mentioned the matchup, so that'll be something they have to get through. Now, what are we picking into Gwen? Clear. What's it gonna be?
I mean, there's still picks like Renekton, Zehen available.
Ach du Scheiße.
Or the top Nidalee.
Ach du Scheiße.
This is really an early game of bust composition for B&K FX. They need that momentum. I think if they're even and it gets later, they're not actually in a good
Yeah.
Ach du Scheiße.
We've seen some drafts like that in a row now. And yeah, I mean, there's tons of scaling on the side of Nungs from Red Force. And I feel like...
Schreit so ein bisschen nach 5 Games, aber es ist...
Like, the side of BNK FearX, it is very early game.
Scheiße gegen Scheiße, wirklich hier.
It's not like Talia Pantheon, though. And it's not like Talia Renekton. It's not, you know, Renekton Nidalee. We don't have a lot of ways to play well together. Even the jungler Xin Zhao is like, yeah, he can set up some picks for the Talia, but also...
So ein schöner 5-Gamer heute wieder.
You don't have that snapping gauge that I think a comp who wants to set the pace of the game really would love to have. Because if you don't, you're just kind of relying on getting ahead and just maintaining that gold lead, which I don't think is super easy to do. Also, the Nidalee top tends to do well in split pushing, but I think when the other team has a Gwen who's going to scale up nicely and a Ryze, playing through side lanes isn't going to be the easiest task. I think, you know, we said last draft there was a big edge for BNK FearX. I think Nongshim had the advantage here. It kind of hinges on the bot lane. I think that's the matchup I'm most worried about for Nongshim and this Sivir.
Well, we'll see how it goes on the Rift as we are ready for Game 4. Let's do it. All right, here we go, game number 4. And just a reminder,
Big One Dash Nidalee. Ja, ist die einzige logische Lösung, oder nicht? Wenn Cannon gebannt ist. Klar.
It's just, it's over until next year.
So,
and it's still August.
Yeah.
So
talking about the bot lane, notice
Late Invade von Squanch Bob.
lethal tempo. I think he wants that early power in lane and it doesn't want to
Oh wow, hat PTA auf sie wieder dabei. Und dann?
Playing this matchup, you can outrange with poke with Nico and Sivir. Like Sivir obviously has chip from the bouncing blades and also the boomerang blade. So you chip out from a distance. You can also do that from Nico with her Q, and it's just poke, harass, and keep away. Because the second you get locked into it all in, you're in big trouble. And the thing with the matchup of the 80 carries is into Calista, if she's stacking spears on you, you just have to guess with the spell shield. Because spell shielding their end is massive, but like it's so hard to just guess slightly before the Calista feels like they're going to spell shield. If the Calista waits, you're just dead.
Yeah. It's not a whole lot of fun. Svikla's going to throw some rocks at Scout here.
Especially as you're so short-ranged on the Sivir.
Yeah.
It's really unfun. But they are doing a good job so far, just getting the poke down, keeping them at bay. Don't get baited into the all-ins. Especially level 3 is where there's mega danger.
Of course, they did see Sponge in their own jungle. So they
Kingen, wie machen wir es da oben? Ich glaube, du wirst gleich weggetaucht.
Although you gotta get
Denn die spielen Full Info.
Speaking of that,
yeah,
doesn't really have a
Man muss auf Level 3 kommen und dann W noch bekommen irgendwie.
double buff here for Raptor. And level 3 is
Ja,
going to Kingen, but I think they just run at the Gwen. And there it is, first blood.
Well.
Gonna go straight over
Well.
Italy.
Yeah, really
Und
good.
das ist eine erste Frage, ne? Ist das Vertical Jungling worth it gewesen? Wenn du davon ausgehst, dass die irgendwie gewollt haben.
On the Krugs, so he could just instantly knock up Kingen. Even in the shower, didn't allow that sort of outplay potential to be there. It's a good start, a needed start for BNK FearX.
Yeah, they need to get ahead, and they need to do it as soon as possible.
Oh, Diablo's flash is down. I think Kellen flashed, hand-shook him, and actually was able to burn that summoner spell.
Yeah, I saw Taeyun giving the big green thumbs up.
The big
underneath
Zac thumbs up?
Yeah, underneath the turret, and I thought it was because of the top lane, but yeah, maybe a little bit different. So I'm actually watching the, yeah, he actually flashed hand-shook.
Yeah.
I was watching the mini-map. Of course, a nice dive in the top lane, which we just saw.
And this makes it delicate. If Diablo doesn't have the flash, if he oversteps slightly, gets tagged by something, Taeyun could just run him down and then...
Und Nidalee ist ein nasty Lane Bully. Absolut.
So even though it's been a good early lane for Diablo the Hens, it's still scary, still a precarious matchup to be in.
Raptor says, these are my Raptors. And he does get them. Sponge taking a lot of damage, but also
Kein Flash.
onto Raptor, who is going to get rooted here by the Ryze. Scout wants the kill as there's the bailout.
Lecker.
but he will not be getting a takedown, so a kill goes over to Scout.
Oh, der Blue ist ausgelaufen gerade, ne?
Yeah, good play there. Scout gets the root, and Lehen's is the blooming burst. I think it's called. Oh, we'll see the replay in the bottom left. How the flash got burned. The flash just caught Diablo off guard.
Stark, Mann.
He got a dead Vikla here in mid. He has flash, but
Ja, der spielt sehr gut.
yeah, just running around behind him and catching him.
Great setup there and playing around these roots well. The thing I was saying about the Bloom and Burst is for a support, for a rank 1 ability, which it is right now, it does a lot of damage when they're trapped in it. It just keeps proccing and proccing and proccing. So you see the play here. We see Sponge getting chunked out, but they push the play further. Then we get the root on top of it. It's like 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit. Allows Scout to move in and finish off Raptor. Not much recourse. And then the mid lane play.
Der Ryze der Ryze hat jetzt halt super viel Freetime theoretisch. Gleich, also er wird per Mitte pushen können und moven können als erstes.
I don't mind using my summoner here.
Und in den Busch supporten, tja, das Potenzial für gescoutet werden.
Animations there from Clear, but it's just Raptor getting in, and you know he was just on his own Raptors, but he went back into the jungle of Nongshim and took some of those camps too that he had started the respawn on. So feels pretty good to do that and continue putting some pressure in the top lane. Kingan still level 5, and Clear just hit level 6, so it'll take a while for him to feel good about that lane.
Yeah, a lot of time needed. Often with Gwen, it's when you have your E maxed, which is a second ability you max, and you have that lowest possible cooldown. Makes a big difference for the Gwen, which is going to be level 13, so quite some time away. Until then, you're really just surviving. But at least the ult gives some power, though, which obviously Clay doesn't get much from upgrading.
Die große Frage ist ja, ob wir einmal einen Ryze Roam into Topside sehen. Ich glaube nämlich nicht, dass es so gut ist. Aber es ist noch kein Flash bei Clear Up.
It's frustrating.
Und da sehen wir ihn.
And try to use it in an all-in if possible. Otherwise, you're just done.
Yep, und Clear ist tot.
Get your ult and use it in an all-in is happening right now as Clear is being run down here, but just runs under the turret, takes turret aggro, knows there's a Rise behind him, and is doing a lot to Kingan actually. Gets that last grasp stack. I think eventually he will die to the Rise. He's actually doing a good job.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of making this interesting. Can even try to threaten and execute or try to run away, but the root comes in and...
Warum ist er da nicht weggepounced?
Jump. Oh, there's the heal. Okay. Keeping this interesting for a long period of time. He's
Lol.
dodging everything.
Oh my
That's
god.
another one. If he gets another heal.
Okay.
No, it's not going to happen. Scout presses his ability. That can't miss.
Yeah, so eventually he does go down, but the amount of time that was wasted was quite a lot.
Das Wichtige ist, er hat die ganze Wave bekommen auf Toplane, right? Das ist so das Wichtige.
Tower chunked a little bit, got a plate there. Does mean King
Ich hatte keins Beam. Nein, ist trotzdem horrible. Ist trotzdem horrible.
was that Kingan didn't have to stick around. He could just go back to top lane, push it in, get some farm, get a plate. Otherwise, you would have felt pretty awkward about that whole passage of play. And we've seen bot lane staying pretty even. So Lahens and Diablo doing a good job. If you're going even with this combo, especially when you have to get an early scout slingshot, you're feeling pretty happy.
Yeah.
I assume it's going to be the Yuntal first then, which is a sort of older build we saw. A lot of people going like more Essence Reaver recently. It obviously scales. Yuntal's an item that gets like
Also meine Twitter for you ist wieder full Guna. Ich schwöre, ich weiß nicht, wie das passiert. Es ergibt keinen Sinn.
I think the fact that the gold's even at 8 minutes doesn't sound like a big deal at all. There's still time for being KFRX, but
Also das ist crazy. Ich schwöre, hier ist mehr Arsch auf der For You-Page als irgendwas über League of Legends. Es ist nicht gut.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of sailing through the early game. Like, they're...
Es ist nicht gut.
A couple of punishes, I guess. And that was about it.
Der Algo passt sich dem Nutzer an. Nein, der Nutzer hat nichts damit zu tun diesmal. Der Nutzer hat nichts getan.
Yeah, just sailing by, you know, they get one grub. That's fine. That's really all they're looking for. They're not really looking to try to take a fight right now.
Don't need to overcommit. That's the big thing.
So, wird alles wieder direkt auf, interessiert mich nicht.
Diablo there, but he just step back and disengage in the situation. So
Hast du eine neue Bleach-Folge? Ich schau kein Bleach.
And I think it makes sense that aren't in a rush to start it up.
Standing on a ward is Lehens. There's the handshake. It's
Oh, in den Stun. Lecker. Boah, ist eine Menge benutzt, ne?
and Kellen picks up the kill.
Wenn du den Drake bekommen solltest, ist es gut. Ansonsten ist es halt Renata Ulti down und Ulti. Renata Flash und Ulti, sorry.
It's okay though. No, it's still okay. And then eventually he was just dead. I will say though, the kill, nice to pick up for being K4X, but Lehen's holding his flash. Flash is so valuable for the Nico. If you're planning a fight at all, it's honestly better just to die and keep the flash for that.
Die Folge lohnt sich, naja, aber ich habe ja, also, ich habe keine einzige Bleach-Folge geschaut in meinem Leben. Weird oder nicht?
Yeah, I mean, he's just standing on a ward. Like, directly on one.
Yeah, the worst part is he used his W, and as he got hit by the seismic shove, so didn't really gain any value. And I'll picture
Being flashed in the top lane. Or, no, he didn't. He just dashed in. Looked like a flash in the small little screen we had in the bottom left.
Okay, well, we now learned the limit of what you can play-by-play on, and a small screen that's like...
My limit, at least.
4 inches across.
Yeah.
A little too small for you, Brendan.
It's a little bit...
That's good to know.
Not quite my tempo.
Yeah. But putting a lot of pressure on now is Kingen. And this top lane matchup is feeling less...
Hallo, Mudo.
Especially because Clear is low on mana.
Oh,
man, he jumps in.
Clear.
Into the Gwen. Now he gets flashed.
Hat das Game wahrscheinlich gerade an die Wand gefahren, nochmal für sich.
Sits him down.
Yeah, that was...
Horrible.
I don't think there's any other way to say it. Clear overplays his hand. And we've seen games where Nidalee top has gotten a lead. It's just not been that useful. If you're getting solo killed by a Gwen at level 9...
Wir kommen dazu, dass wir Top-Matchup haben. Wir hatten einen Gwen Blind auf 3 mit Cannon Bun und dann war die nächstbeste mögliche Antwort anscheinend Nidalee. Ich sag mal so wie Mickey hat Bleach geschaut, das Originale, vor Thousand Year Blood War, indem er unironically auf mal 4 geschaut hat. Mal 4 und dann Fight sehen auf mal 1,5.
I feel like so much of my thoughts about this game were kind of conditional on like Nidalee winning, and despite
Und meine sowas unwatchable.
hope for Nongshim, but it feels like I'm putting a lot of weight on this one moment, but to die to the Gwen here is just so disastrous. Really well played by Kingen, and yeah, he did get him.
He seemed very excited about it. Almost a little bit surprised, although I don't think anyone was surprised by him getting that kill after the jump in.
I was surprised by Clear jumping in.
Yeah, but after that happened, I think, you know, even Kingen was like, oh, I think I'd just get him here. But yeah, excited about the kill nonetheless, because it really does get him back in the driver's seat in that side lane. Even though he's still down about 500 gold, and we do have a Trinity Force finished by Clear. But again, Gwen is going to scale a lot better than this in Italy.
Level 13, when the E is maxed, you get like the most cooldown refund. You know, when like you dash and then you auto and you get the refund. That's the point where I think Gwen is just really unleashed. And, you know, back in the day, the cooldown refund was flat. And that's why she was so much stronger early. And now, the fact that you have it scaling up to 65%, it kind of put a dampener on an early game. But if you get through it, a very formidable champion to deal with. And I don't think BNK4X have the tools. Oh, no.
Everybody is trying to dive into Clear right now. The knockup comes in into the roots. And, yeah, there's just too many people. Now the wall comes in. And that's why we see Talia into Rise. For the response wall after your side laner already dies. So at least, you know, Taeyun is down there. Avicla stays in the top lane and is doing a lot of damage to Sponge, at least, who is getting quite low, and he does actually get the kill, so Avicla gets away with it. A bit of a skirmish, little scrum over the blue buff, and
okay,
looks like Raptor will get away.
Little overstep from Sponge there, and this whole time, Taeyun has just been farming bot and pushing the wave in, so BNK4X with a bit of a gold lead here.
Yeah, and Kingen, I mean, he's eating pretty well. This is a big commit from the side of Nongshim, but
this is a good play.
It's worth.
I like this, the catch-up clear, pretty straightforward. But the follow-up play is just a bit of an overstep, because Sponge is already pretty low when they go for this. And you know, you have limited time. When you go for a play like this, they are eventually going to move in and respond. Sponge spends too long there. Kellen comes in. Scout goes for to try and finish the kill off, but just doesn't quite have the damage yet.
Yeah, I think it was kind of close. It was a very thin margin to go for. You talked about just holding on to your flash if you're going to go for a fight. It is 40 seconds until the Rift Herald and Lehen's flash is away.
Yeah.
So he's not going to have it for that, nor the Drake.
Doesn't have his Rocket Belt finished either, so not getting the max value of this Nico right now. I think one-item completions would definitely help Nongshim a lot here. King and not quite there. We do have Diablo's Yuntal finished though. Obviously once he stacks that up, decent amount of value, but definitely need more items for the Civ is truly online. The Fierce Dragon's been picked up already by Nongshim. I think if they offer you a fight, you're okay just saying, nah, I'm good. And just giving up the dragon. If B&K FearX get the second dragon, it honestly does not shift the needle at all, really.
And also B&K FearX, I mean, they have Kalisto Renata, so Fate's Call is a little bit scary. But besides that, you know, you talked about Snap Engage. We have Xinjiao, we have, you know, maybe like a Talia wall set up. There's really not a huge amount of threats, so...
One thing you do have to worry about is
control.
If they're on the objective, Xinjiao often stacks his Q up on it and then dashes on you. They don't have to fight this. And I think it's dangerous to go for it. I think this is the right call. I think this is good for Nongshim. There's no pressure on you to make this happen. You're missing some key things like Lehen's Flash and Rocket Belt. Nice little disengage there. Using the warp strategy from Lehen's. They all
didn't have Flash, so you know.
It's an Ocean Soul as well, which feels really good because it means even if B&K FearX starts stacking dragons, you're not overly concerned.
Yeah.
They are looking at the Herald, though. This is a bit more worrisome if they get it. A bit more meaningful.
Yeah, B&K FearX setting up here. We do have the Realm Warp behind them. Scout on the flank. Again, he just has a Rod of Ages at the moment. The engage comes in onto Sponge, and he does get the one Cyclone as Lehen's tries to get the knockup. By the way, the 1v1 is won by King and in the top lane, and now it's pretty close here. Taeun just hopping around. They don't have a good answer as the bailout is there as well. Nongshim, I don't think they should have gone for this fight, and they found out why as Kellen picks up the kill, and B&K FearX get quite a lot off the back of that.
I think it's difficult to find an approach to that fight that works for Nongshim. Even with King decimating the 1v1, it still ended up just not working out for them. And I think you should have just let the Herald go, because the result now is they still get the Herald and they get a fight win. It's a double whammy, and you were really made to pay for that overstep. Lehen's now has the Rocket Belt, and you see here, he just doesn't get much value. It's quite hard without Flash or Rocket Belt. Get a big ult in. Kingen is crushing the 1v1 against Clear. They have Scout in this angle. Sponge gets chunked out when he goes in, and then Lehen's ults and only hits Kellen, who immediately gets Fate's Call. So the engage didn't work. Taeun starts getting autos down, but with the bailout, it's just never under any threat. Diablo doesn't have the damage, doesn't even have the mana to take him down. This was a play that followed a good decision from Nongshim not to take the dragon. Goes into a poor decision to contest that Herald.
Yeah, I don't know what Clear said, but it's definitely frustrated by a situation. That's all I can really say. Sponge in a rough spot here. He's trying to just flash out of this one, but the flash on him from Raptor is going to be his demise. And Clear at least will pick up a second kill. And, I mean, this is exactly what B&K FearX needed.
Yeah.
They get the Rift Herald, they get a fight, a huge one, they get the mid-tier 1.
Wow,
The game
7-6.
was in danger of stagnating.
Well, was denn passiert? Holt mich mal kurz ab. Ich habe den Fight beim Herald gesehen.
Charge at Nongshim.
War sonst irgendwas?
Someone will step out of position, you can finish them off. Taeun, 1,900 gold ahead, and this 2-item spike for Kalista is vile to play against. It's a fact as well that Static Shiv applies the Ren stack.
Das passt halt ein Drake für BFX. Mhm.
Sponge is just trying to find an angle here, has a bad flash, and then gets caught out. But it feels frustrating now because the Kalista can kind of just show.
Sie war sehr empört darüber, dass Spanner jetzt einfach das ganze Jahr frei hat.
Tagged, you get poked. Not a fun position.
Ich habe ja das ganze Jahr über schon gesagt, dass das alle Versager sind.
Yeah, now.
Das Jahr über drauf beharrt, dass das alles Versager sind.
It's not a lot of pressure from the Drake per se.
Also ich sagte, ja, aber wir haben die jetzt schon Urlaub. Das ist ganz anders. Damals war das ganz anders. Damals hat man nicht im August Urlaub gehabt.
to get far enough ahead to probably scale into Baron and then try to end this game before Nongshim gets online. And, I mean, Clear isn't a big side lane threat at the moment, so I'm curious how they're going to...
Ist sie jetzt für Big? Nee. Sie hat keine Favoriten. Sie fragt mich immer, für wen ich bin. Wie gesagt, dann sage ich meistens... Okay, sie fragt mich, für wen ich bin, dann sage ich halt entweder, wenn ich... Ne, für Big bin ich ja, jetzt halt für den 26. Entweder sage ich für Big, oder wenn es halt wirklich 2 Teams sind, die mir egal sind, dann sage ich, ist mir egal, sind 10 Versager. Und dann sagt sie, ja, alles Versager nur noch.
It looks silly, but with the Kalista right there.
Boah, die Kalista ist Balancer, was?
Taeyun is just frontlining. He's just
oh, er ist am hinten.
He is not going to get the bailout, funnily enough. Maybe on CD there, as now we're just going super deep for this one. Clear, looking for the kill on a sponge. He says, I am useful. And he will live with the help of Kellen.
Well, kein Game 5, anscheinend. Außer es kommt noch ein Giga-Throw.
And Nongshim just keep playing into BNK FearX's hands. They see Kellen here. It's a Kalista Renata. You know what is going to happen. This isn't some new thing. We've seen this combo a million times. They try and go for the Renata. The Fate's Call comes in to keep him safe. Dabble isn't in a good position to team fight. Taeyun goes super aggressive, but it has the bailout to make the play extend. Does end up timing out the end, and they just keep jumping forward. Clear, who had a rough time up against Kingen, finding some good value here.
So we're following Taeyun. He's saying McHale's.
So much damage there to just execute the hands.
Said we got Rise. Or he got Rise. I guess that was the Rend.
Ja, kann man hier noch hart genug scalen oder ist es lange noch schwierig? Ich meine, sie haben nur einen Drake bisher, richtig? 6er Gold sind 6er Gold. Das ist schon eine Menge.
Crazy strong. Approaching 3 items. This went from a game where I think Nongshim had a good hold on it to just out of control in no time.
Yeah.
And this can happen when you're into things like Kalista Renata and you have a pretty short range composition. You know, a lot of people think of like Kalista Renata, you have to crush lane and the game is over. But it really can be difficult for some teams to deal with. We've seen players have fantastic late games on this champion. Pays, Ruler have really ran games on this pick. And now Nongshim have gone to this uncomfortable position where it's so hard to step up. So hard to be in range off BNK FearX.
And you're still so far away from really hitting your big spikes. Like 3 items on Sivir, 3 items on Rise with the Actualizer. Like, the fights that they go for are all happening when Scout doesn't even have a fully stacked rod.
Yeah.
They do not have the damage to fight those, even if they're getting like really fantastic engages, which they didn't. They were running straight into a Renata with a Nico that didn't have flash. Right, so it felt very forced once again. This time he's got flash.
Das ist ein guter Engagement. Taeyun hat kein Flash, oder? Oh. Well. Schau, Scout, kann er noch genug Damage machen? Nope, kann er nicht. Die Kalista hat so viel Zeit rausgeholt. Verrückt.
So far ahead as a team now. There's nothing you can do. As BNK FearX, they are just chasing him down. Clear gonna stick around and make sure Scout doesn't get to back, while the rest of the team looks for the Baron.
Oh,
der trifft.
Yeah, he's, okay, that didn't quite reach.
Kal is useful.
He hit the spear right, he gets the extension on the...
Wait.
I think he just didn't quite have the...
Contestable?
Well, he jumped, but it didn't...
Wait, contestable?
Maybe he didn't target it, I don't know.
Maybe he didn't target
Auf HP, der Wukong kommt denn ein...
So they get on Taeyun.
Oh, ne, er kommt nicht hin.
Taeyun just takes so long to die. The McHale
Nope, kommt nicht hin, Zeit hin.
Dabble charges in to get the damage down with a flash.
Kein Flash auf Kalista jetzt.
Beat down by Raptor. He even gives a reset.
Das unmögliche Miniman.
And sure, the Kalista's dead, but there's just so many other threats, and there was just no real gas in the tank here for Nongshim after that initial engage. Then we get this little runaway situation. We're not going to see it again. We don't get to go over it once more. Scout is getting stronger. He's approaching level 16. He's approaching the Actualizer. We have seen games dictated by this Rise pick on the 3-item spike, on the level 16 point, but there's a lot of threats in the other team that are very scary, and Dabble's a long way away from really being online right now.
Yeah, and it's hard to say that you can really just run straight into a Kalista who has Wit's End and bailout. And, you know, even if you do burst, or are you going to get through the bailout before dying? Or someone on your team dying? Or?
I mean, I think the ideal point for Scout is when you have Actualizer, which he just picked up with level 16. And then you also have a Seeker's Arm Guard. Because then Seeker's Arm Guard is so good against the bailout specifically.
Well.
You do kill Taeyun.
Das Unmögliche möglich machen noch?
Stasis and wait till he actually dies.
Ich sehe aber wieder Mortal Reminder, grrr, aber hier ist es okay-ish.
No, it's a team-wide thing.
Aber irgendwo auch nicht. Weil wieder 3 Leute HP, 4 Leute HP kaufen, ist irgendwo auch nicht okay.
Yeah. It's like now he's hitting his spike, but I just don't know. Like, the main target is absolutely Kalista. But, I mean, even Vikla's like 5-1 and 7. He's no slouch.
Oh,
he's not Rhyme.
Flank. Hasn't been spotted.
Okay, they're just sending it in. We do have the Realm Morph for vision, I suppose. As he's just gonna
Oh wow, was zur Hölle hat Scout da gerade gemacht? Taeyun hat kein Flash. Oh. Aber ist immer noch losing, oder nicht? Ja. Wir verabschieden uns von Nongshim. Das Jahr ist over. Schade, ich schwöre, dieses Jahr Scout hat's nicht verdient.
And BNK BFX will face down Hanjin Brion for the last spot in playoffs. Nongshim, this is the end of their season, the end of their year.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to have them go down like this, but BNK BFX were absolutely the better team on the day. You cannot take that away from them.
GG.
As Vikla is ecstatic. And it will be the battle of the Bees. The two B teams, BNK BFX up against Bro for the last spot in playoffs. As big hugs to Lehens. You gotta wonder when we'll see him next.
And you saw the smile on Taeyun's face. This matchup against his...
Morgen Bros gegen BNK BFX. 10 Uhr, meine Freunde. Letzter LCK Playoff Spot on the line.
And taking them down, taking them